ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative,
and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. SpaceX debuting on Wall Street was a big deal for investors across the spectrum, from established institutional investors to less experienced retail traders. Earn Your Leisure co-founders Troy Millings and Rashad Bilal saw this as an opportunity to educate their audience as much as possible.
When we see IPOs as retail investors, we want to make sure that we understand what lockup periods are, right, when those expire, how things can get sold out of positions, and people can really get stuck holding a bag, so to say. And so we want to make sure that we educate them. If you're going to invest in it, you're going to do it for the long term.
That's Millings on Bloomberg recently, talking about some of the advice they share on their weekly podcast called Market Mondays. Here's Rashad Bilal in that same conversation.
You see a lot of people trading options now. You see a lot of people taking more risk, and that a lot of times is done because they want short-term gratification. So it's our job to, educate them as much as possible and lead them with long-term investing in solid companies.
I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
He steps to the mic with a boom, ping, ping. Wisdom sharper than a beast's fierce sting. Words like fireflies that light the night. He turns the dark into blazing bright. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Shake the ground, unveils the truth where lies abound. Politics, justice, social streams. He molds the chaos into dreams. No silence here, just the sound of change. Boom, ping, ping, rearrange. Boom, ping, ping, the truth takes wing. Milwaukee's voice, let the city sing. Boom, ping, ping, hear the freedom ring. Sherwin's the king, all the airwaves king. Through the static, through the noise, he amplifies the people's voice. Boom, ping, ping, like a heartbeat's call. He's got the wisdom to break down walls. Yeah.
Well, good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Monday, July 27th, 2026. It was a very eventful weekend in the city of Milwaukee if you were paying any kind of attention or if you were out experiencing some of the many different events. You had the Granville Jazz and Blues Festival, which was very well attended and also, might I add, very safe. It was a wonderful event. You had, of course, Brady Street Festival, which is very popular and is attended annually by many thousands of people. And because it is the summertime and Milwaukee has a variety of different entertainment districts, there were lots of folks out and about on Water Street. Alongside those great positive things that were going on, the events and the festivals and the live music, you did have an uptick in violent crime, shootings, both of the fatal and non-fatal variety. What I want to explain today is a perspective on consequences. And I did listen to my colleague's show this morning, or at least as much of it as I could, and I hear the frustration amongst the folks who are the do-gooders, who stay above board and stay positive. And when you do go out in the city of Milwaukee, you enjoy yourself, you don't cause any problems, you're not looking for someone to start a fight with. And for the most part, you leave your guns at home, or if you do bring your guns out with you, you don't shoot them at other people. And it's very frustrating. It is. Because it's not all black people, but it is always black people. And if you listen to my program, you will never hear me do some kind of comparison between us and other groups who may also engage in similar kinds of behavior, because that is not taking responsibility for what we, our people, our community, and our culture are participating in. I don't care about what other people do. Of course, other groups and other races and ethnicities participate in violence, but there's a particular effect on us and the consequences that we all are going to suffer that I want to share, because it's lost in our complaints about how bad it actually is. So part of what we're going to discuss today is crime in the city of Milwaukee, especially in the summertime, because we know that there's an uptick in violent crime. Does it change your social life? Do you not do certain things, or do you avoid certain areas, or do you not go out at all because of the perception of crime? I'm wondering if the crime that takes place has an impact on your social life. Do you stay home, or do you avoid certain areas or neighborhoods, or maybe you avoid the city of Milwaukee altogether, and maybe you choose to spend your peaceful time or your social time or your leisure time away from the city altogether? Because if that is indeed the case, first of all, that is your choice to do so. But that also aids in the economic impact of the city of Milwaukee, because if we have people that feel unsafe when they want to go out and have a good time, they will steer their wallets to places where they feel a little bit more comfortable. So that's another unintended consequence of some of these foolish behaviors. There were some fights, of course. Big one on Brady Street. Don't even know what it was over. Probably something small. There was also some fists, kicks, feet, elbows were flying on Water Street as well. And you've seen the videos, and they make very good social media content. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, there's a consequence that we are going to pay for that. And I don't know if we see the consequence or if we believe it, but you're about to see it very, very soon. For folks that may be unaware of the depth of African-American culture and our progress and the great things that we do and the things that we create and how we bind this society together, whenever you have a fight video, it takes away a lot from the positive narrative. And sometimes the local media doesn't help, because there could be 1,001 great things going on, a whole bunch of money being raised for local initiatives and nonprofits, and you can have a whole bunch of backpack giveaways. Oh, don't worry, the backpack giveaways are coming. Every single day, I believe there are good things that are happening, but they don't get the coverage. And we complain about that too. Like, how come they're not talking about all of the good things? Well, because they're not going to. And if anything, I think that is more incumbent upon us because each and every one of us, for the most part, has our own platform in which we can share information. I know you guys share fight videos because that's where I get my fight videos from. I get them from you all. So we all, in a sense, are little microcosms of the media, and nothing is stopping us from sharing some of the more positive things that are taking place in the community. And I believe that the positive things, absolutely I do. I believe that they outweigh the negative. The number of young people that are going to graduate from high school and are either going into the workforce or maybe they're going on to higher education. Those are real positive stories, but they don't really get a lot of daylight because people are kicking each other in the face on Water Street and fighting on Brady Street. But the consequence we're going to pay is, if you're unfamiliar with the good things that we do, and then you look at these horrible examples that get circulated on social media, not just in Milwaukee, but really all over the state, there are some people that believe that that is what the African-American family has produced. And to some extent it has. But if you don't know our history, which is not taught in schools the way other histories are, we know that. So people are devoid of knowledge when it comes to how great we were and all the good things that we have done, how we can bind a society together, and how we make America adhere to its word of treating people equally and fair. Even though it doesn't, like, we stand as examples of how America has been unfair to people. But there's a lot of folks in the state of Wisconsin in particular, they don't know very much about the good things that black people do. All they know is the bad, and every time there's another fight video or they want to see what's going on in Milwaukee because they dare not come here, it's too violent. And so they'll read our local news publications. Maybe they'll read WISN.com or CBS58.com or TMJ4.com or JSOnline.com. And you know what the headlines are. If it leads, it bleeds, and it's always some terrible news about us. Do you think for a moment that in a very, very crowded, ultra-competitive, and quite honestly mean and nasty Democratic primary that is going on right now, do you, listen to me, listen real good now, do you realistically think that good God-fearing white folks who live in Marathon County or live in Door County or live in Sheboygan or in Sheboygan Falls or Oshkosh or Abilene, you think they're going to vote for a black governor? The consequences that David Crowley and Mandela Barnes are not going to be governor of this state. We are going to pay a price for the ill behaviors of just a handful of black people. That is what the consequence is going to be. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this might ruffle some feathers. Good, let your feathers get ruffled. I like when your feathers is ruffled. They shouldn't get elected governor. If the social infrastructure of our youth is destroyed, then no black candidate should be allowed entry into the executive branch of state government. Because here's the thing, they're not going to be able to do anything about our disheveled youth culture anyway. They're going to have to serve the greater wishes of a state that is 79% Caucasian. But they're not going to put one of ours from this city in which they read more negative, violent headlines than they read positive in the executive branch. That is a consequence that we are going to pay. David Crowley is going to pay the price for the ill behaviors that are exhibited by our community. I know what you're thinking, but Sherwin, it's not all black people. That doesn't matter. They see us as a monolith. And I know that we do our level best to try and show how different we are as the black people and how diverse we are as black people. And you got black Christians. You got black Muslims. You might even find yourself a black Jew or two. We're very diverse in our incomes and our home ownership and levels of education. You think that that matters to them? Nobody cares about details. Now, they are aware that every now and again, there's a good one. There's a good black every so often that pops up that speaks the King's English, that has a family, a good black that is married and has children every so often. And they may, on occasion, point that out, especially if you happen to be one of the good blacks, because they'll tell you, you're one of the good blacks. Look at you with your pants up, being worn properly. Look at you. But if you think that they are going to vote for one of us to represent them, you are literally insane, and quite honestly, they shouldn't. Because if the tables were turned and if white culture was devolved and it was violent and if it was murderous and if it was overwhelmingly poor and ignorant and uneducated, do you think that we as black folks would elevate and pedestalize that? Absolutely not. We wouldn't want that representing us, just like they don't want us representing them. But I think there needs to be a consequence to force a deeper conversation instead of us just seeing the videos and reading the headlines and saying, oh, that's terrible. Well, I wish they would stop fighting. I wish these kids would go to the library and go roller skating, because that's really what our response actually is to all of the things that we are seeing. We have zero control over what the future of this community is going to look like because we have zero control, social control, or cultural control over children. I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to show you some poll numbers. There's another poll that's coming out tomorrow. Nobody's going to catch Francesca. Can't catch her. She's off to the races. We're going to have a conversation now. But she exists to show several broken systems at once. I think that the political infrastructure in the black community is broken because you got to keep this in mind. David Crowley and Mandela Barnes, they're fighting too, like a group of black girls on Brady Street or Water Street, but they're doing it differently. You know that Twitter account that was exposed by David Crowley with all the stuff on it? Guess who brought that up to the world's attention? Mandela. The ethics complaint on David Crowley's campaign finance report. Guess who brought that up? Mandela. They're fighting too. Like two long weaved black women who are wearing short skirts whose breasts pop out when they happen to start throwing punches. Ladies, if you're going to fight, tighten it up a little bit. Wear a sports bra. Wear something athletic. It's amazing. You wear yoga pants all of the time, but when it's time to fight, you guys are wearing the most inappropriate clothing. Your shoes are inappropriate. Wear shoes that boxers wear so you can at least get a good grip on those dirty Brady streets. Got some stuff we're going to talk about today because I want us to feel and understand the consequences of what we are putting on display as our representation, and there will be political consequences for it. I also don't believe that there is an appetite with this anti-DEI and anti-affirmative action climate that, quite honestly, Donald Trump has set. It's been fortified by court cases. It's been fortified by law. It has been fortified by the upending of the Voting Rights Act and removing and reducing and eliminating black districts. Like, all of this stuff is exactly the same. It's the exact same theme. This country has turned very anti-black. And I think that we were focused on how anti-immigrant it is because, ICE is going and getting the Latinos. This country has got tools to go after different minority groups at the exact same time. And we are being attacked as well. And I think the ultimate consequence is, even if we set forth our best candidates that could potentially do a very, very good job and could be groundbreaking and history making, because the climate is so anti-us, it's going to be next to impossible to find enough voters in the state of Wisconsin in a crowded primary in which they have so many other choices for them to elevate one of two African-American candidates who, if you ask me, I believe that they are in the race just so the other person doesn't win, because if they really were focused on winning and quote-unquote beating Tom Tiffany, which I don't think anybody actually cares about, then there'd only be one person in this Democratic primary like they did for Mandela Barnes in 2022, but there's still 5 people in the race. This is a battle of ego. Kelda Roy's, her Signal chat had been leaked. I know that she's embarrassed. Full disclosure, I am also on a Signal chat with Kelda Roy's, and an article was shared with me that was anti-Francesca. And I don't like Francesca's policies, but attacking somebody personally, it makes me really, really sick, because we're going to wonder at some point, how come we don't have better elected officials? Like, you guys question the leadership all the time. How come we don't have better alderpersons, or we need better elected officials? These are the people that actually want to do this work. Nobody wants to represent us. You understand how impossible of a job it is to represent people that just, the standard is so incredibly low for civility. Who wants that job? Who wants to go to work every single day and represent this? You got to be honest with yourself, because if I ask any of you good, wonderful, beautiful, God-fearing, above-board, honest, hardworking people, if you wanted to run for office, you would tell me, hell no. Of course you don't, because good people don't want to do this job. Not saying that the people that are doing the job right now are bad, but these are the ones that have the skin thick enough and can tolerate the current political and social climate that we are in. So you don't always get your best choice of elected official. You get whoever is willing to put up with this torture. I'm going to take a break, come back. I'm going to be calm today. Usually I'll be yelling and screaming. I ain't doing no yelling and no screaming. We're going to be calm. We're going to get the word out today, Jack.
Must have got some release.
I had a great weekend, if you're asking.
Yeah.
But
No
I
wonder
make
why you're so
sure that I have a great weekend. All right, I'm going to take a break, come back, continue our chit-chat about the social costs, the political costs that we are going to pay. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I haven't done any international traveling, but I'm aware of some of the beautiful structures and monuments that exist all over the planet. And these structures and these monuments, sometimes they are natural, sometimes they are wonders of the world, sometimes they are man-made. I hope I have enough life left to be able to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa or the structures and pyramids in Giza and in Alexandria, Egypt. I would love to be able to see the Eiffel Tower in person instead of seeing the little one that we have on display at Bastille Days. These incredible structures that are dedicated to the excellence of a culture. I would love to go to Acropolis. Not just because I love Greek women. I like me a Greek girl. They're crazy, but beautiful. Love to see the Parthenon. Love to see these ancient Colosseums in Rome. But other than that, I am familiar with structures that we have here in the United States, whether it be the Freedom Tower in New York or even some really tall buildings in Chicago. It's not called the Sears Tower anymore, but I still call it the Sears Tower. Or the John Hancock Building. Beautiful, incredible structures all throughout the United States, and I have seen many of them. And of the structures that I have seen in the United States, including some really impressive architecture, I'm going to tell you what. The state capitol here in Wisconsin is a breathtaking piece of architecture. I have probably been, no exaggeration, I've been to Madison, Wisconsin more times and have spent more time in Madison, Wisconsin, either working at the Capitol or on some kind of political junkets or expedition or visiting than I have Waukesha. I've probably been to Madison more than any other city in the state of Wisconsin for a variety of reasons. My career has mostly been in politics for my adult life, and Madison is the center, and it is the seat. And every time, I don't care if I was in Madison until 3 o'clock in the morning on a Monday, I go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and I return back to Madison for a 9 a.m. meeting at the Capitol. Every time I'm driving down Washington and I see that beautiful dome, it is literally breathtaking. And if you are in Madison at night and if you are walking on State Street and the way that dome is lit up, you literally think that you are somewhere else. And sometimes I think with a state as small as ours, Wisconsin is not a big state. We're 5.8 million people, and it's mostly very conservative and very, very rural. I'm thinking to myself, we don't even deserve a dome and a monument that is as impressive as our state capitol. It is really a beautiful structure. It rivals that, honestly, of the U.S. Capitol. And I have been to Washington, D.C. more times than I can count. There's some impressive stuff in D.C. now. You got the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. The U.S. Supreme Court is just it also is a breathtaking piece of architecture. Even the White House, even though I'm not thrilled with what is occupying the White House right now, it is just an absolute beautiful structure. And I believe that our state capitol in Madison is on par and on equal footing with some of those other monuments and structures to power. That monument and that structure to power that is the Wisconsin state capitol is, when you think about it in another term, is such a beacon of white supremacy, because that's what the state of Wisconsin is. And I completely understand that. I'm not mad at them for building it. It is their edifice dedicated to who they are and the direction that they are going, and that is up into the sky. Do you think that they're going to have somebody black move into their structure? Let's talk to Miss Shack. Miss Shack, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm wonderful, Sherwin, under the circumstances. However, I'd like to say this early, bright morning that I beg to differ. I love this topic. It's a great topic, and we really don't put enough emphasis on the differences between who they, as in white people, racist people, represent. And those people that they exploit, to say that it represents all of us, I beg to differ, because my standards and what I live by is totally different than what those people, the lower, we say Negroes, live by. These people are broken, and this is what they thrive on: chaos and mayhem and brokenness. But we have to distinguish the difference in who we are in our standards. That's why I say keep our standards high, and we need to spotlight that 1 second spotlight you gave to the positive Black Milwaukee. We need to represent and speak of the high standards that the Black Milwaukee is represented in this Milwaukee, because they are doing great things, and we're not spotlighting that enough. They're representing our standards. They're representing our Black pride, and this is the distinction that needs to be made going forward when they, as in the racists, want to find something to exploit about us. We need to make the difference, distinguish the difference in our pride.
Linda,
and our standards.
I don't want you to, I appreciate your response, and I'm not saying that I don't agree with you, but it does not matter how many wonderful and positive things that we have going on. You're never going to change the mind of a racist. Remember, we're only 4% of the population in this state. Now, what we can do amongst one another is we can share positive stories and positive influences and positive impact. But no matter what those positive, wonderful things are that we are and that we represent, we're never going to change their minds. And I'm just trying to be real right here. They will never vote for for one of us to lead them, and I'm giving excuses why. We also, as a Black community, of course, we want to highlight the wonderful and the positive things, because we think that that can negate the negative, so we don't put forth effort to try and negate the negative and put forth, labor to try and do that. We think, well, if we just do a bunch of really good things and just talk about that, then that should overshadow the negative. It never will, because we have to put in more work to stifle the negative Instead
And
of just
Sherwin,
always highlighting the positive, that's living in a delusion, Linda. And what the delusion is
I
creating
understand.
is a
I
false sense
understand.
of self because we think that we have folks from our community that are ready to represent this state, which is 80% white. And it's insane because we actually believe it.
No, all we can do is represent where our standards are and how our high standards are. And what I'm saying is, what you are recognizing is the challenge that we are facing intellectually. How do we distinguish the difference between high standards and low standards in Black community? And how do we reward and recognize those high standards and exemplify those high standards so that those who are weak and wounded will recognize that they are the problem? We have to rethink and reimagine how we can intellectually resolve our problem instead of keep spotlighting it and
I'll tell you
highlighting
how.
it.
Our kids can't read. Our kids can't read. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy them a whole bunch
There
of
you go,
backpacks.
going back to that.
No, Linda,
You're going back to
if
the
you don't want to
rabbit
be
hole.
realistic about it, then we can't have a conversation about
I'm being realistic. We have
our
to
kids can't
challenge
read, and
ourselves intellectually.
no one is teaching them how to read. So you can have all this intellectual conversation that you want. If our kids can't read, they are destined to a life that is going to be doomed. It's very simple. Of course, there's great Black people that do wonderful things every single day. But if the generation coming up behind them don't know vowels and consonants and can't spell and sign their name and read and write in cursive, then we're pretending that all of that doesn't exist in favor of the handful of positive things. Like we're in the biggest state of denial. Like we're in denial that we're living in an anti-Black, anti-affirmative action climate because we think that as Black people, we've been through enough and we deserve the best of everything. And I don't doubt that, but the world sees it differently. There's some internal work that we need to do because what is being exhibited and what is being showcased represents all of us. And what the consequence is that we aren't going to have a Black governor because of that. And so maybe this forces us to go back to the drawing board and really drill down and take some of this energy that we have to make our community better to improve the outcomes of the most vulnerable people. But I think it's very easy to just write off and dismiss Black people to the criminal justice system and let that handle our problem. And I don't think that that's the solution. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Join the Milton House Museum for an extraordinary celebration of history, heritage, and freedom on September 26th at 7 p.m. at Janesville Performing Arts Center. This special evening features Grammy Award-winning Fisk Jubilee singers from Nashville, a legendary ensemble having preserved the powerful legacy of African-American spirituals, carrying songs of faith, resilience, and hope to audiences around the world. Opening the evening is the dynamic Kofi Dance Company. Don't miss this unforgettable evening supporting the Milton House Museum. Tickets available at miltonhouse.org.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a united way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to healthcare and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The fatigue that many people have expressed has consequences. And I don't know if we see them. I think that we are still paying the price from that. Remember in November of 2021, there was a Christmas parade in Waukesha. Guy named Daryl Brooks, who, if I'm not mistaken, was out on bond or bail from one charge and was fleeing the police as he was about to get arrested for another. If I'm not mistaken, it was domestic violence related. You remember that? You guys remember seeing the video footage of Daryl Brooks fleeing from the police? And apparently, either he didn't know where he was going or he was unaware that there was a Christmas parade going on. You guys remember that? Did you guys see the video of that? When this African-American man who was a representation of a failed criminal justice system, because you know that the criminal justice system has gotten very lenient, right? You know, it's a pendulum that swings. Sometimes the pendulum swings in one direction where it's truth in sentencing and very long sentences and no early release and no deferred prosecution. Like if you get sentenced, you do all of your time. But then what happens is black people will say, hey, there's a lot of black people in jail and all this truth in sentencing, and we're staying in jail longer and there's no deferred prosecution. Then the pendulum swings back the other way to where it's much softer. It's mental health counseling and it's deferred prosecution agreements. And then we'll say, well, even though you've got 17 felonies, how about you just get some ADOA counseling and then we'll call it time served. And I think because we have lamented for so long about how racially biased the criminal justice system was, we swung it back the other way. And now you have people that, I don't know, committed a murder and they're released on their own recognizance and then they get out of jail and they go and commit another murder while waiting for trial for the first murder that they committed. So I almost think that they're using the criminal justice system against us because normally and usually when a black person has got criminal tendencies, the people that they tend to hurt and to harm in the community that gets devalued, that loses property value, that loses business investment is a black community. It's a genius system when you think about it because remember, they designed it. When Daryl Brooks killed those 6 white folk and injured 62 others and traumatized thousands, I was like, oh, we're going to pay for this. Black people everywhere are going to pay. We didn't see it that way. We thought it was an isolated incident. Oh, Daryl Brooks was a crazy fella and he had some violent things in his past. They don't see it that way. They will punish every last one of us because some of them that were there at the Waukesha parade, when a black man who should have been in jail, who was released on bond or bail on one felony charge and then committed another felony charge, and while he was out committing another felony charge. He killed 6 people. And then he had the nerve to represent himself in court. You know what they say about that? If you represent yourself in court, you have a fool for a client. So these things that take place that we as black people might dismiss because there's so many violent incidents, so many shootings. It's hard to keep track of all of them. And plus, who wants to? But there is someone who is, in fact, keeping track. They have a cumulative effect. And even if, ladies and gentlemen, this is the part that's not fair. Even if there are more positive things that are being done to help and support the African American community and just communities across the state of Wisconsin, y'all got to understand that doesn't matter. Let me give you an example. Somewhere deep in the Trump administration is someone that is distributing resources properly and the federal government is operating like it's supposed to. There might even be some process somewhere deep in the Trump administration where things are actually working okay, where there's continuity in government and things are working normal. Maybe he cut out some red tape. Maybe he cut out some bureaucracy. Maybe when he reduced the federal workforce, it did free up money for government agencies to operate more efficiently. Those things very well could exist. Do you see what I'm getting at here? But all the negative stuff that Donald Trump says and does, that takes the cake. That's the talking point for the day. There could be 1,001 wonderful things happening in the Trump administration where there are some bureaucrats and some people working in, I don't know, the Department of Justice or the Department of the Interior or Department of Transportation. Maybe transportation funds are being rolled out to cities and states and towns more rapidly, and the roads and the bridges are getting fixed faster now than they were under Joe Biden. Maybe those things are actually happening, but again, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to give you this juxtaposition. Because there are positive and wonderful things happening in the black community too. They don't matter because the bad things are overshadowing them. Does that make sense to you? Trump is a villain. But that doesn't mean there aren't some parts of the federal government that are all broken. Something somewhere is probably working good. But even if the Trump administration did a press release and said, hey, we actually are improving outcomes when it comes to rolling out federal resources for highway funds, or we're protecting our national parks, or whatever the hell, it doesn't matter. The positive things coming out of the Trump administration don't matter because the negative always overshadow. And I want us to look at us the exact same way. I'm sure Donald Trump is probably very angry. How come they're not talking about the good things that I'm doing? Because you have us in a war. That is part of it. So I knew when Darrell Brooks killed those white folks in Waukesha. I saw the video. Oh, it's disgusting. It's people flying. They're in the air. There's some old ladies, the grannies, the dancing grannies. A bunch of dancing grannies got hurt. It's awful. I'm thinking to myself, there's going to be a consequence for this. And the consequence, one of the many, is they are not going to elevate somebody black to be governor in the state of Wisconsin. There are many, many consequences, but that is the one. And see, I think black people are so emotional about the possibility, and David Crowley is a great guy, but he also is going to be a scapegoat for all of the fatigue that they have, because their fatigue of us and even our fatigue of us. And this is not me being negative on black people, because there's some folks that we're so detached from reality that you can't even be honest with black people about the stuff that black people do because they don't want to deal with it. They want to live in a state of denial. They want to live in a state of denial that, yes, we do indeed in the black community have a matriarchal hierarchy to our society, but it is failing miserably because there is no responsibility and there's no accountability being held for some of our most egregious behaviors. In fact, somebody might say something like, well, his daddy wasn't around. That's why he killed 13 people. Absolutely no accountability whatsoever. No. And there's a consequence to that. Take a break, come back. I'm going to share with you something I was thinking about. You have some really impressive structures in the United States that are dedicated to black excellence. You could give an example, or I could give an example of, say, the National Museum of African American History and Culture, nearly 400,000 square feet. Or most recently, I would say, the Barack Obama Presidential Library, not just in Chicago, but on the south side of Chicago. A 19-acre campus, multiple buildings, and it costs $850 million, almost $1 billion to construct. You have even the Black Arts and Cultural Center in Madison, which makes no sense. There's more square footage of the Black Arts and Cultural Center in Madison. I went to the grand opening of that, and I was blown away and at the same time very jealous. That structure has more square footage than they actually have Black people. It's like 50,000 square feet, 3 levels dedicated to Black art and music and culture and progress and Black history. It is just an impressive space. It's got a rooftop deck with a bar. Oh, it is so good. You only got 25,000 Black people in Madison. But then I was like, well, what about in Milwaukee? Because we do a lot of wonderful things in Milwaukee and a lot of very positive things. Linda called in. Oh, we do a lot of positive things. Where is our structure? If you have these other gigantic monuments to Black excellence and culture, because I think if you have something like that, it can change the perception of a community. And maybe some of the negative behaviors and the fighting and the shooting can get overshadowed if we have this big, beautiful monument or a building or a structure that is dedicated to Black beauty and culture and art and progress. I think the biggest structure that we have square footage in Black Historical Society is tiny. I'd have to say our biggest structure is the damn Black Holocaust Museum, and most of that is housing. And here's what's crazy. Our biggest structure dedicated to Black progress and positive Black achievement is dedicated to our death. Isn't that crazy? We don't even have an African World Festival. Guess who just had a festival over the weekend? The Germans. The Germans! Take a break, come back. I want to dive in a little bit deeper. We don't have a structure dedicated to how wonderful and how positive we are. And there's a lot of wonderful and positive things that the Black people do, but there's nothing that we can point to like a structure, like an Obama Presidential Library or a Black Arts and Cultural Center like they have in Madison. I'm real jealous about that because every step that I took through that building, I was like, I hate it. I hate this. I'm a hater. I hate it. I hate it. Because we don't have anything like that here. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're invited to summer's biggest celebration. Join Wisconsin State Fair in celebrating 175 years of memories together. Get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If the Standard is the largest purpose-built or predominantly dedicated physical structure in Milwaukee whose primary mission is preserving, interpreting, or celebrating African American history, culture, or the Black experience, then Milwaukee does not currently have a building comparable to the scale of, and we know that we wouldn't have a building comparable to the scale of the African American History and Cultural National Museum in Washington, D.C. That's 400,000 square feet. But Black people have made some monumental contributions to the city of Milwaukee, including how we built City Hall. At every step of the way of this city's progress, including our old school blue-collar roots when Milwaukee was the tool shop and the machine shop, and quite honestly, the brewery for the entire world, Black people were right there. We migrated from the South in a couple of different waves and provided much-needed labor to all of these industries that made Milwaukee great. In fact, up until shortly after the Civil War, Milwaukee was one of the most populated cities in the United States of America. Another bit of trivia for you. There was a period of time where Milwaukee City Hall was the tallest building in America. And then they built the City Hall in Philadelphia, and they got us by a couple of inches. For those of you that say size doesn't matter, I assure you that it does. Whether it be freed slaves that came to Wisconsin seeking a better life and sued all the way to the state Supreme Court for their right to vote. I believe his name is Ezekiel Gillespie. He's got a park named after him, and a park is a very good thing to have. But a park is not a structure or a monument or a building full of historical artifacts and photographs dedicated to all of the positive things that we seem to know about one another. You know, school doesn't really teach our history, but I do believe there is mandatory education when it comes to the Asian Americans, and there's mandatory education when it comes to the Jewish Americans. Hell, I was learning about the Holocaust when I was in 8th grade. We don't even have an ethnic festival, and I'm saying all of that to say, as positive as we know that we are and we can be and all the great things that are happening, there is nothing physical that points to it. Therefore, all of the bad stories and the negative stories and the fight videos, that becomes the narrative. Even though I know, I get it, there's a whole bunch of really good things going on, but it gets overshadowed by the negative, and we got to take some responsibility for that. Now, I can give you a long story about institutional and structural racism, absolutely, and I maybe can make up some explanations, but not necessarily an excuse for some of that behavior, because I also can tell you that every other Black city, especially those south of the Mason-Dixon line, they've dealt with the institutional and structural racism too, but they have found a way to dedicate something monumental and beautiful and cultural worth creating and preserving about the multifaceted myriad of offerings that the Black community is. But up here, we have none of that. So I'm trying to say, by giving you all of this word salad, is that all the positive things that we are doing, it doesn't matter. There's nothing symbolic representing it that we can point to. We don't even have an ethnic festival. Like, that's a big one, because we are, in fact, you could probably add up some of the other ethnic communities in the city of Milwaukee that have their own festivals down at the Summerfest ground. And no, Black Arts Fest, MKE, ain't quite the same thing. It ain't. It's close, but it isn't the same. It's a substitute. We are 40%. We are the plurality in this city. And I'm not over here placing blame that we need to get money from this person or that person to have an ethnic festival, but it's so symbolic that we don't have anything positive that we can point to. And if we don't have anything positive that we can point to, what are the youth aspiring to here in the city of Milwaukee? Honestly, have you ever asked yourself that? What do they even want to be? What are their dreams and their aspirations? What do they want to be, a podcaster? Tell you what, it's not all it's cracked up to be. It isn't. I mean, it's okay, but everybody can't be a podcaster. What do the girls want to do? Be in the WNBA? I saw a couple of highlights from the WNBA All-Star game over the weekend. Oh, my God, it was worse than I thought.
You didn't see the girl dunk?
She did dunk. I also saw several missed dunks. I saw missed alley-oops. I saw more air balls than I saw back when Browndale High School, middle school girls used to play when I was in middle school, in the 80s. A lot of air balls. Be the third period, the score would be 9-2. Oh, it's so bad. And they want to make the same money as the NBA players do?
If the sponsorships are there, I don't see why.
Yeah, but the sponsorships aren't there because the biggest demographic of anything in the United States is actually women. And if women are not watching the WNBA, they're watching anybody. No, I'm not trying to be mean to the WNBA, but also I don't watch soccer either. I got good news for you. Some of the Packers rookies report to training camp within the next week or so. Real football is about 40-some days away. Everybody relax. Real football is around the corner. Thank God. God, this soccer stuff is just ridiculous. We don't have a structure that is dedicated to exactly how great we are. We have the money to do it. I'm going to take a break, come back. I mean, I want our positive achievements to be highlighted somewhere. But until they are with a structure that we can point to, and also that doesn't give the youth hope because there isn't anything here that they can aspire to do and be. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Do I dare even read some of the commentary on YouTube? Yeah, I'll read a little bit of it. Oh, look at the poll. A lot of votes on the poll so far. If you haven't done so already, go to youtube.com or open up your YouTube app from your smartphone or other mobile device and search 1017 The Truth. Hit subscribe if you haven't. You'll be able to see the in-studio camera of me. I'm wearing a blue picnic table shirt today. And you'll be able to participate in our YouTube poll. Does crime impact your social life? Do you not go certain places, or do you not go out at all, or do you have second thoughts about where to go because of the perception of crime that may exist? I'll admit, last year, 2024 for sure, I went to every night market. 2025, I didn't go to all of them. 2026, I have gone to none. Because I don't want to be even in the vicinity of stuff happening. Because then I'm going to have to talk about it. And then some of y'all are going to get your feelings hurt, because I also know, in having conversations with the Black community for damn near every day for the last 15 years, we are so incredibly emotional that we know that bad things happen, but we think if we don't talk about them, they don't exist. I also have a different perception than most when it comes to how incredibly prayerful that we are. And this is the part that I have to wrestle with, because we see other people enjoying the answers to their prayers. We see their opportunities. We see their businesses. We see their income. We see their opulence. We see their wealth. We see their fame. We see their celebrity on full display in front of us. But we are witnessing their opulence and their wealth and their opportunity and their income and their education. And we're watching it, and at the same time, we are seeing our community go in the complete and opposite direction. And I believe that if you get to watch somebody else's opportunity and the beauty of their life and their wealth and their opulence and everything that they want under the sun belongs to them, if you are bearing witness to that, I believe you ain't blessed. I believe you're cursed. If you are witnessing some other person, some other group, some other ethnicity, some other race, if you're witnessing all of their success, and then we have the nerve to set our standard of success to theirs, and ours is nowhere near, you got to wonder who's blessed and who ain't. And I would argue that we pray more than them. Now, I know that might be an unpopular take, but if you think about it, that don't make no damn sense. Thought we were the chosen ones. Let's see what we got here. Linda says, wow, Sherwin, what a way to discourage the Black community. We know our enemies don't care, but to say or insinuate we Black people are doomed, should not resolve our own Black issues, and is insane. Linda, we are doomed. I don't know what planet you live on. I don't know. What is it like to live on that parallel universe? Can I buy a vacation trip ticket to where you live? This is the worst I have ever seen this climate. And it doesn't matter all the nice things that you say. Donald Trump can also say a bunch of great things that he has going on. I bet you we could find something somewhere in the Trump administration that might actually be functioning a little bit better than it was under Biden or under Obama. Just maybe. But guess what? Doesn't matter, does it? The more that we deny how much trouble we are in, the longer we are going to stay in this pit of despair. We can't participate in denialism. Got two Black candidates running for governor, and I don't believe that either of them are going to be elevated. First of all, with both of them still in the race, they can't be. And I think that we are pretending that all of the negative behaviors and the shootings and the fights is not going to have any kind of consequence, and it will. And their fatigue, and even our fatigue of us, it has a consequence, and it's playing out politically. In fact, the political party that most black people subscribe to is completely broken. We rely on the Democratic Party for pretty much everything, for our candidates, for our policy ideas. We rely on the Democratic Party to protect civil rights and human rights and labor rights and voting rights, don't we? Rely on the Democratic Party to do all that. We relied on the Democratic Party to produce a nominee that could win against Donald Trump. It lost against Donald Trump in 2 out of 3 attempts. Not only that, I got a big one for you, because we do rely on the Democrats. So there's the Democratic National Committee, the big organization in Washington, D.C., which collects a lot of money, and it gives money to different states and different political parties and different candidates. The DNC is broke. They had to mortgage their building to get a loan. Did you know that? That the political party, the corporate infrastructure that we rely on to get money for our candidates, so we can perform in the midterm elections. Typically, in a midterm election, when one political party is in the White House and doing really poorly, we could say that that's the case now. Donald Trump, his approval ratings are very low. Republicans that control the whole of the federal government not doing well because things are expensive and the inflation is the highest and the gas prices are the highest and the tariffs are the highest, and Wisconsinites are paying on average about $1,100 more per person because of Donald Trump's tariffs. I would say that the Trump administration economically is not doing so very good. And so in a midterm election, when you have one party that's in the White House and that party is not doing very good, and you got to blame the Republicans for this because they control the whole government. So all the stuff that we're seeing is it's them. They got to take responsibility for it, okay? You would think that the Democrats would have so much wind at their back. You'd have all sorts of people donating and giving to the DNC, because what the DNC can do is they can funnel a disproportionate amount of resources to states that have a lot of Democrats that are running that are in the best position to win some seats, either in the House of Representatives or even take some Senate seats, right? The DNC has negative $2 billion right now. They're broke. You know how much money the Republicans have with no debt? $130 million. That's horrible. But guess what else that is? A representation of a broken Democratic Party, because after Kamala lost in 2024, because so much stock was put in her, that when she lost, the entire infrastructure of the Democrats completely collapsed. Donald Trump gets reelected, and he's running roughshod over the federal government, just like he said he was going to. In fact, he even provided us a blueprint. They gave us the document of what they were going to do, and we still couldn't get it done for Kamala Harris. We're going to be analyzing that election forever. They put out Project 2025. It's like, yeah, if Trump gets reelected, we're doing all of this stuff, 900 pages worth of stuff. And here's what's crazy. They're doing it all page by page. Today they're on chapter 19, section 2, and they're just going right through it. So then you have the rise of democratic socialism, because the Democratic Party itself has just completely imploded. When I found out this morning that the DNC had to mortgage its building to get a loan, I'm like, oh my God, we're so screwed, because we put a lot of stock in the Democratic Party. Here's the problem. We can't put stock in the Republican Party because that's not going to bear any fruit. But then that also explains why Francesca Hong is doing so incredibly well. And I would argue she's not who you would typically picture as a leading candidate for governor, but she is such a representation of a totally broken system. Ergo, the African-American community right now, don't you think that things are in bad shape? But I'm not here to be your sunshine. I'm here to give you a dose of reality, because far too many people live in the clouds. And also, we don't have a monoculture anymore. A monoculture is we were all subscribing to the same positive aspects of Black life. It's not like that anymore. You've got culture that has totally dove off the deep end. The music is bad. The expectations are low. And there's a lot of people that are subscribing to that. And I almost hate to admit this, but it's a very unusual irony. And I love ironies because they show these polar opposites. For a period of time, I would say from the late 1960s through the 1990s, the monoculture was dominated by Bill Cosby. Whether it be the roles that he starred in, whether it be him as a stand-up comedian that didn't even use curse words. Here's the thing about Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby himself was an apparition. He was a character. But if it wasn't for The Cosby Show, that was the #1 most watched television show in prime time for like a decade straight, America never could have imagined or envisioned a black upper-class family raising their children where he was a doctor and she was a lawyer. It normalized black success, and the spinoffs, A Different World. I watched A Different World, and I saw myself going to college because there was a primetime television show that was a spinoff of The Cosby Show that showed positive black life in college. And it wasn't disgusting and horrible themes. It wasn't twerking. It wasn't people acting ungodly. It was upbeat and it was positive. Then when Bill Cosby went on his tour in 2004, and a lot of people got really mad because he was chastising the behavior of the black community and how we were wearing our pants and how we were starting to devolve, because he did dedicate a lot of his time to the improvement in the education of the African-American culture. I also think that he was projecting. I think that Bill Cosby knew that he was a terrible, terrible man, and he wanted to show what was good about us and good parts of him that he, for some reason, couldn't defeat his demons. I think that Bill Cosby was a very positive force on black culture for many, many years until we found out all the freak stuff he was doing. Bill Cosby even went to prison for a while. Ain't that wild? But I think that he went to prison as a combination because of the output of his work and how it moved our culture forward. There would be no Barack and Michelle Obama and Sasha and Malia if you didn't have Rudy and Claire and Vanessa and Sandra and Theo. Theo, what are you doing? And Theo and the Gordon Gartrell. What? Marcus, is that who we got on line one? Xavier, is that who? I do? With who?
I guess we have an interview with Marcus Lattimore.
I didn't know that. I think he's calling the wrong show.
I didn't know that either. I think they might be calling on the wrong show, but
he's on the phone right now.
Correct.
Should I do it anyway?
Let's go to break.
Oh, he just hung up.
Oh, yeah, he did hang up.
Did we check our email? I didn't get an email.
I didn't get no email about no interview with Marcus Lattimore. That's why I was very surprised.
He's probably one of the Lattimore brothers.
Correct.
That's going to be performing at the Milwaukee Black Arts Fest MKE.
Correct.
Damn.
I think we scared him off.
Sorry, Mark. I mean, I would have did it. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily have fit with what I'm talking about today, but that's all right. We can pivot.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, I was a little thrown off.
Why don't we do this? We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get our lives together. And we will continue the conversation. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Milwaukee College Prep, we believe brilliance lives in every child. Here, students are challenged, supported, and celebrated every single day. With small class sizes, dedicated teachers, and a proven track record of academic excellence, MCP is helping Milwaukee kids reach their fullest potential. Enrollment is still open for grades K-3 through 8. Spaces are limited. Apply today. Give your child a school where they'll thrive. Visit mkeprep.com or call today. Milwaukee College Prep, brilliance lives here.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling, the limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is, my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council. And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. Any other interviews we got scheduled?
Not that I know of.
All right then. Because sometimes I don't check my emails, but then that's when I rely on you. But I do a pretty good job of checking the emails.
I check them. We get a lot of interesting emails that just don't pertain to us a lot of the time. So
you still got to read all of them though, because you gotta be informed. Because when I do an interview, I need like specifics. So they'll say, "Hey, Sherwin, we have so and so that wants to be on the show." I'm like, "All right, well, give me some details. Who are they? What's the interview going to be about?" Otherwise, I can't conduct my business. You know what I'm saying? If I don't know,
makes sense to me.
Now I could wing it, but
we would have definitely winged that one.
I can make anything sound good, but I'd rather not because it's stressful. Because I've winged things before, and y'all had no idea, and I've winged it, and I was like, ooh, I hope they didn't find out that was winged. Then there's other times where it sounds winged. It just sounds... Because I have to try and... If I know I'm going to do an interview, like, regarding entertainment or something, then I'll lighten the conversation before the interview takes place, because I can't talk about black fatigue, and then all of a sudden, R&B legend superstar on the line. That doesn't really fit. All right. Guru says the Black Holocaust Museum can leave you feeling angry, though. Yeah, I was just taking an inventory, and I'm not the only one that is taking inventory. And we've got, places like Bronzeville where there are some attempts at creating black culture in a geographic area, but we don't have anything other than a couple of statues. Like, what's our tallest monument to positive black culture? I think our biggest building is the Black Holocaust Museum. I think that's only one floor, and the rest of it is just housing. And the Urban League doesn't count. The NAACP doesn't count because these are help organizations. That's what I call them, designed to help and designed to assist the African-American community in a variety of different ways. But we don't have anything, because if you have that monument, if you have that building, if you have that structure, other than a statue of Vel Phillips, other than a statue of Dr. Martin Luther King, I guess I could say the Martin Luther King Center, maybe. But I don't think that that's enough, considering all that we have contributed to the state of Wisconsin and to Milwaukee. We don't have anything. And us not having an ethnic festival when all the other ethnicities do have a festival, I think it's just symbolic of how much trouble that we are in, regardless of how many positive things that we have going on in this city. Even the positive things that we are doing, it's all relative. And I don't know if we can have enough positive happenings and occurrences that can overshadow just every weekend, Every weekend, y'all. Every weekend, another fight. Every weekend, another shooting. Every single weekend. We can't curtail that. I do believe that we have a lot of just unloved children, and nobody's going to love them. And you can have as many positive things as you want coming out of your community, but if you have a bunch of unloved children that are looking for it and are not receiving it, then the positive things that we are happening are a Band-Aid. At the same time, we do want to promote and prop up the positive, and I think that we have fantastic people in the state that are doing wonderful things, but they're not going to be elected governor. You got to look at these things in totality. If we are known for being a community that is suffering some despair, we can place blame all over the place, and we can take responsibility or we can not take responsibility. That does not bode well for a couple of things. When our party structure that we adhere to is completely and totally broken, and also other people want to make positive decisions about their communities as well. And do you want to take someone who is from and of and represents and has been elected by Black people to represent the 6 million people in the state of Wisconsin? That's a practical no. And I know that that's offensive to some, but then let it offend you. Because the election starts tomorrow. I got a poll on my share. David Crowley is at 7%. You would think he's doing a lot better. He's got a great commercial that's playing. It's really good. It makes him look like a strong leader. Talks about his endorsement from Tony Evers and how he worked with Tony Evers to get a lot of stuff done. It's a really, really good commercial. It is just 2 months too late, plus Mandela is still in the race, and Mandela just got an endorsement from the United Auto Workers. So there's no tone nor temperament to galvanize behind one candidate. And I think that that's really unfair, because there was some galvanizing behind Mandela in 2022. And the thing about politics is you got to try and be fair, at least to the people that are on your side of the aisle. And Mandela knows that they cleared the field for him in 2022, but he's not doing the same for someone who was in the race before him and was endorsed by the governor. And Tony Evers, it's crazy to think he's still a relatively popular political figure in the state of Wisconsin. His approval ratings is better than everybody's. So that being said, I just don't see the mathematical pathway to either of those gentlemen, whether it be David Crowley. It's going to be very disappointing to a lot of people, because I know that when Black people finally do decide to get politically engaged and we get behind a candidate and that candidate loses, because our political participation it's inconsistent. We don't vote in very high numbers, and wait until you see what voter turnout is going to be with all this hoopla and all this excitement around the different candidates that are running. We're lucky if our turnout is 35%. Meaning a lot of the people that are pretending that they're excited and they change their profile pictures on social media, some of the people ain't even going to vote. They're just participating in the Me Too. Like, oh, everybody is sharing all of this David Crowley stuff. That's the worst part about it. Some of the biggest liars I have ever met are voters. Oh, they're so bad. It's Wisconsin nice, and it's this veneer of being pleasant. Just like the racism here, white people will be really cool with you, be nice to you. They'll text you back. They'll invite you to tailgate with them on Brewers games, but at the same time, they will hate your guts and don't want your kids to go to school with theirs, but they'll listen to music with you. And we think, oh, they like us. No, they don't. The whole point is to make us feel comfortable with institutional and structural racism, because it's fixed. And here's the thing: we don't, as Black people, we don't have the power to tell white people to not be racist anymore. Because if we did have the power to do it, we would have done it. We have to force them by law to even be nice or to integrate or to split resources. We have to force them by law. And even then, they're like, do we have to? Marvin says, Linda, Sherwin is just laying facts. We have a lot of dysfunction here. And she's not going to admit it. Linda, it also makes me, and I'm not picking on Linda. Linda's very emotional, and she's a supporter of the program, but she just wants to hear that everything is perfect. Everything is not perfect. Like, if I got a cancer diagnosis, I'm not going to talk about how good my legs look. Sherwin, I've got bad news for you. Oh, you do? Yes. Got cancer of the nipples. Oh, no. want to talk about that, doctor. But another development, you've got very nice looking feet for a man. And I just go out and tell everybody how pretty my feet are. I've got nipple cancer. Don't laugh at that. That's a deadly one. If I had to get a nipple amputation, I would not be myself anymore. You know what I'm saying?
What do you use your nipples for?
Mostly for show, because they don't have a purpose. Men don't even need them. But if you didn't have them, you look like a freak of nature, right? And I don't even know what the biology is. Like, why do men have? We don't need nipples.
Well, it's kind of like, how the clitoris is like a undeveloped penis.
Yeah, it's that little bean.
Yeah, so our nipple is like a undeveloped breast, because when we come out, we're it's not determined if we're going to be male or female until like the process goes. And
it's not right away. It does. There's some splitting of some stuff, and some stuff has got to go over here, and then the estrogen and progesterone and all of the things. Because really, a uterus and ovaries is a penis and testicles. It's just internal. It's the exact same thing. It's just inverted. But yeah, I don't know why. Look how quickly. I'm glad the Lattimore person didn't.
He would have.
I'm talking about nipple cancer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk to someone who. Oh, good Lord. This is perfect.
He knows all about nipples.
I know. This person does. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Sherwin. I don't know about no nipples. Look, listen.
I know you don't.
Look. Now, see, there you go. Or you get smart real quick. You said you got angry when you went to Madison.
Huh?
To see, when you went to Madison.
Oh, yeah, their building. Yeah, the Cultural Arts Center. It's so beautiful, but we don't have anything like that in Milwaukee.
Well, here's what I got to say about that.
Okay.
Milwaukee is big time. They had commercials on CNN about the governor. I don't even know the governor of Wisconsin. Madison. Wisconsin is big time.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Stop talking for a second. You said you didn't know the governor was in Madison?
I didn't know. I don't know the governor's name in Madison because Milwaukee's big time. They try to be more big time than Chicago. But
you don't know the mayor's name in Madison?
Yeah, I don't know the governor or the mayor. Oh, the mayor's. Yeah, the mayor's name.
Oh, boy, wait. Stop. Who's the governor of Wisconsin? What's their name?
Now, I told you that before. Now, that's easy, Sherwin.
What is it?
Sherwin, it's Evers.
What is it?
Evers.
Okay.
All right, now listen. Milwaukee thinks they're big time, and they try to be more big time than Chicago, but it'll never happen. But they give commercials on CNN and other. They're big time. They don't need what Madison got. Madison needs that. So I just wanted to clear you up on that. You don't have to get sad because we don't have this. They don't have this in Milwaukee because Milwaukee's considered big time.
Big time to who?
In this country, Sherwin. So understand that.
Milwaukee. So if you go to L.A. or if you go to New York or if you go to Boston or if you go to Miami or Austin or Dallas or Houston or New Orleans, they over there, they talking about Milwaukee like we the second coming. Everybody knows about Milwaukee. If you go to Minneapolis, they talking about Milwaukee. If you go to Las Vegas or Seattle or Portland, they talking about Milwaukee is what you're trying to tell me. If you go to Detroit, Michigan, if you go to the D, they're always talking about Milwaukee because we're big time. Is that what you're trying to say to me? If you go to Washington, D.C., if you go to Atlanta, Georgia, they talking about Milwaukee?
Sherwin, you don't have to talk about a town to make them big time. Milwaukee is big time without you saying in whatever state they're big time. They know they're big time, and you don't have to feel bad about Madison got this. But they never will be more big time than Chicago. They want to be, but that ain't happening.
Bob, give me three examples of why you think Milwaukee is big time or what makes Milwaukee big time. Give me three examples.
Sherwin, all I need to give you is one.
Okay.
Where did they have the governor's race on national TV? Nowhere. Most places. I mean, they do have it on. That's big time, man. You don't see no Madison mayor, and in a lot of countries, Milwaukee is considered big time. But just remember, you will never be more big time than Chicago. Remember that. And then they want to be, but it'll never happen.
Bob, don't nobody care about Chicago but you. In fact, why don't you go back there? Why don't you go back to Chicago, Bob? Because Chicago don't want you. You probably got kicked out of Chicago. That's why you live in Racine.
I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I know
sir.
you will. Over here running your mouth, you live in Racine. Racine is a slave colony. In 2026. Go get you a slave in Racine, and they're cheap. Go get you a 12-pack of Coca-Cola and a slave for $9. McDonald's meal costs more than Racine slave. You know what? What time? I'm done at noon today. I think I might go down to Racine and go get me a couple. Go pick me up a few.
Couple slaves?
Yeah, buddy. Get me a couple. That's not nice to say that.
Why is that?
I don't know, because that's probably not something I should be joking about. I mean, I've never been a slave before. It probably sucked. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look who's calling now. Oh, look at this. All the Racine people are calling out. Please, Sherwin. Please don't. I got to take a break. Come back. What is this? I got so much stuff here. What do you want to talk about next, Joe? I got so many things. I'm talking about the DNC being broke. Now, the good news is, though, the candidates that are running for office in the midterm elections, they have money. So Jonathan Ossoff, who's running for re-election to the U.S. Senate in Georgia, he's got like $42 million on hand.
I gave him a lot of money.
Jonathan Ossoff can spend probably $500,000 a day until the election, and he'll be fine. James Tallarico, who's a little controversial, but he's a Democrat running for a Senate seat in Texas. He got like 72 million. But the DNC, they usually can supplement those candidates' dollars by giving money to state parties and running ads and commercials that are anti the Republican. The DNC is essentially they're broke, not essentially broke. They have $2.2 million in debt. And what I'm concerned about is that the Republican National Committee has got $130 million cash on hand with no debt. So Republicans are going to be dramatically more competitive in a midterm election where they really deserve to lose all of their legislative seats because the state that the country is in, including the war, including the tariffs, including the affordability crisis, that all falls in the lap of one political party. And unfortunately, Democrats are going to find a way to screw it up. And I also don't know how this wave of democratic socialism is going to be an answer to satisfy people that want to see policies move in a different direction. Because what you're asking people to do in Wisconsin, and so far Democratic primary voters are obliging, but we obliged once before in 2016 when Bernie Sanders beat a Democratic establishment candidate named Hillary Clinton. So there is some history of a Democratic socialist performing very well in the Democratic primary when it appears that the Democratic Party is broken. But I don't know if asking over 1.5 million Democrats in the state of Wisconsin to vote third party is going to be successful because the Democratic Socialist is technically a third party candidate. But I guess we'll see. Franny Pants is doing very well. My social media feed is flooded with Franny Pants events. Franny Pants sold out some event in Appleton. There's people around the corner, around the block, hanging from the rafters, blue hair, pink hair, purple hair, septum piercings, many, many tattoos. Shout out to Franny's people, because here's what a Democratic primary is all about. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk to a couple of my favorite people that are holding on line one and line two. Democratic primaries are about one thing. Yeah, it's all the talking points and all the messaging, and it's all the commercials and blah, blah, blah. Who can get their people out to the polls? That's it. That's it. Whose people are going to get out? Is David Crowley going to get his people out? Is Mandela going to get his people out? Is Kelda going to get her people out? Oh, poor Joel Brennan. That poor fella.
That's your guy.
I know it is. I had an idea, but that idea it's went up in flames.
Brennan for the winning, huh?
Damn it.
That didn't last like Silver Fox
It
Summer.
Silver Fox Summer's in full swing.
Oh yeah. See, when I coin things, they stick.
Brennan for the win. Brennan, he just chilling at 2%.
Yeah, I don't know what you thought.
I don't know. It just sounded like, but also I overestimated African American political power. We're not turning out to vote. We're gonna, if we get 50% black voter turnout, I will eat my words. I don't think we're gonna get anywhere close to that. So, all right, let me take a break. Come back, talk to a couple of folks on line 1 and line 2. If you want to call, you totally can. 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're invited to summer's biggest celebration. Join Wisconsin State Fair in celebrating 175 years of memories together. Get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Uh-oh. Al, that you?
Yeah, what's up? How you doing this morning? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, Al. What's on your mind?
Hey, this was what's on my mind, and I need your approval, and then I'm going to hang up and listen. Right now, we as black people are at the belly of the beast. It's kind of hard in Milwaukee for us to get any progression when we have coon-ass niggas as politicians, okay? And they're not going to do nothing to the inner city because they're going to use the ignorant-ass niggas to hold the investments. And some of our black politicians only move when white people fart. So we're pretty much at survival for ourselves. So what we have to do is some of us going to have to start going for some of these black politicians' positions, okay? We go out the way to try to make everybody feel uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable, okay? Like this governor race. If I was running, I would say anybody who got a gun charge, a drug charge, I don't care if you were selling weight, I don't care if you got a charge on a child support and you got a felony, it's going to be pardoned and expunged. Nobody want to push the envelope for black people, all right? So since there is F us, it should be F you too, nigga B, okay? And so what we're going to have to do as black people, we're going to have to clean our neighborhoods, we're going to have to push education, and we're going to have to go for some of these black politicians' positions because they ain't never been for us. They're for themselves. And then we have to push to clean the inner city up, which means turn some of these inner city neighborhoods into one-ways and cul-de-sacs and go after the slum landlords and some of these landlords that look like us who take care of their properties like niggas. Because they couldn't take care of their property like that on Locust and Hackett. They couldn't do that over there on Capitol and Murray. They could not do that in Bayside. So since it's F the blacks, we have to do that to the black politicians, and we have to stop being so upset not to talk about our own, because there's some of our own kinfolks that we don't allow at the family cookout, the funeral. We don't even put their name on our obituary that's holding our progression. So since it's F black folks, we need to start saying F everybody else, and we're going to have to do our part. And I'll hang up and listen to your reply. And to anybody that's offended, you can lick and go eat a raw chicken foot with spoiled hot sauce. Happy Monday. Bye-bye.
And that's the truth.
He said at the beginning of the call that he needed like my approval for something. I approve this message. Go ahead. Eat a rotten chicken foot with bad hot sauce on it. Hello, Lisa. How are you today?
Well, my day was good. I'm just, I am just going to be raw with people.
Uh-oh.
They say when you become a certain age, you change. And you know why?
Why?
Because people make you change.
They do.
And they say that you change for the bad. You don't change for the good, but you change for the bad because then you start noticing you have more time on noticing. I'm here at Frederick Hospital. Now, I always say, I'll tell you later, I always said Frederick was a great hospital. I'm okay.
Like you in the hospital? Like you're calling from a hospital bed right now?
Yes, Sherwin, right now I'm in my bed. God dang it. Sherwin, look. Maria came in here. Maria came in here on the phone. I said, excuse me, why are you on the phone? I'm talking to my daughter. I don't care if you're talking to your daughter, your grandmother, I told her.
Is Maria your nurse?
No, she was a cleanup lady.
Oh.
She said, I'm 45. I said, I don't care if you was a doctor and you were 67. I said, but let me know something here. Let me know this. When they hired you, did they tell you, one of your intels was, you can be on the phone while you at work? Did they tell you that in your, when they hired you and you can go through all this is what you're to do and not to do and all? Did they tell you you're allowed to be on the phone at any time? Okay, she didn't say anything. Oh, then her whole attitude shifted. Oh, you want me to do this? Oh, you want me to do that? I can get get me the head nurse. Oh, do you want me to do this? Look, do your job, I told her. Do what you are supposed to do, but I still want that head nurse. I want this wing. I always said the fifth wing, what I didn't like about the fifth wing was the corridor because it's narrow to come down.
Lisa, do you have anything to say about what I've been talking about on my show today, or you just want to talk about
Sherwin,
huh?
Because we have a problem. You have a problem with me not voting. But let me tell you, black people, something. You better vote for the blackest person you can vote for. Let me tell you something. You like to look into the white people's backyard. You call them and they. Look, call them for who they are.
Hey, Lisa, are you going to vote?
Call them white. Okay, Sherman, I got to go. Bye-bye.
No, don't you go nowhere. You better not hang this phone. I'll call you back. I'll call you back. Don't you hang up on me. Why are you telling people they need to vote for the blackest person and you don't vote at all? Don't you hang up on me. I'll come to Frederick.
Sherman, bye.
Don't you? I wish you would. Please hang up. I'm daring you to hang up on me.
What's that going to do? I'm not married to you. What do you mean I wish you would?
You better not hang up on me. You bet not.
There you go. There you black people go. You say things that contradict yourselves. And
Lisa.
I just don't understand.
You were telling people who to vote for, and you don't vote at all.
No, I did not tell you who to vote for.
Why don't you start with yourself?
You better vote for the blackest of the blackest.
Okay, fair enough.
The white
who
people,
you gonna vote
voted for Trump. They voted for Trump, and Trump.
Who you gonna vote for, Lisa?
Screwed them all day long.
Lisa, what room number are you in?
5 SE 5.
5 Southeast.
I tell you what, like I told them, from now on, don't you ever bring me back over here. Oh my God, I thought it was a disco club in here last night. Somebody playing the gospel music up loud, and you got the man next door. I don't know if he got whatever they just talk to themselves or whatever. That's loud, and then you got people waking up this morning laughing and joking. That's so loud, and I got my door closed. What is this? What is this? Please tell me.
I don't know.
But I can go on a new building where it's all lovely. Oh, it's so pretty. The nurses say, "Good morning. How are you?" And look, I know the nurses I had here were good too. But it's just the atmosphere of the people that's other the CNAs and the other ones. They all were horrible. So I told them from now on, put it in my chart. Do not send me over here ever. I will wait until my time is over in the emergency room. Do not send me back over here ever again. Send me in the new wing.
The new wing.
4, 10, or 11. Don't you send me over here again. This is wretched and ghettoness I have never seen or experienced in my life.
Okay.
And I do not do
Who you going to vote
that.
for?
No.
Who you voting for?
I vote for myself. I vote for myself, getting off this swing thing, going to dialysis, and carrying on with the rest of my day. Period. Now, if Maria's going to be shipped back to Mexico, if she gets, I don't care.
Well, hold on. What? That's anti-immigrant. You can't talk about Maria getting shipped back to Mexico. I'll ship you to Mexico.
Look, I can go down the line that make me wake up and realize Mexicans are coming over here. They're buying houses over here. They're selling their foods over here. They're doing, and then they look at us. They calling us niggas and everything. But we don't go on the south side, but putting soul food restaurants over there, buying their houses over there, or doing anything over there where they live. But damn it again, they need us to survive.
You're racist. You're racist black.
Look, I see it for what this country is. What? I see it for what this country is. You could call it racist or whatever you call it. But see, when black people say something or they complain, we're racist.
You are racist.
Oh, we're racist. No, I'm telling the truth.
You're telling some racism.
The truth. I'm just telling you.
You want the Mexicans to go back to Mexico because they're buying up all the houses?
Look, I don't care where people go.
Yeah,
because, see, you come over here, you're really living off our rights, and then now we're nothing. You got more freedoms and rights than we do, damn it. Make it make sense. Now, you make that make sense. Please do. Every other every race here comes, they living off our rights, what our forefathers died for, and they have more rights than we do.
Your forefathers. You were a slave.
Okay, if I was a slave, then you know what? I'm worse.
All right,
then give me the right.
Okay, Lisa, go register to vote now. I hope everything gets better for you at the hospital now.
I know you'll be waiting. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.
The views and opinions expressed by Lisa do not reflect that of the staff and management of Milwaukee Black Media, but are the sole responsible commentaries of the Lisa in the hospital. That was a black racism rant.
Yeah, it was. And she doesn't even vote. That makes it 10 times worse.
Leave the Mexicans alone. First of all, if a Mexican wants to buy a house, let them buy a house. You can't say the Mexicans can't come over here and buy a house. And no, we're not going on the south side and opening up soul food restaurants because nobody would buy our soul food on the south side. Plus, black folks love going to Mexican restaurants. Love it. I ain't got no beef with the Mexicans. Mexicans leave me alone. I ain't got no beef. Okay, let's. Good God.
That was pretty racist, though.
That was bad. Imagine a white person saying all that stuff.
Yeah.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. Will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
My mom has decided to learn to paint, and she's good.
My dad's now into creative cuisine, and I've already put on 6 pounds.
Learning new things comes with age.
My mom, she started forgetting my name and what we're talking about.
Forgetting well-known things doesn't. Memory loss may be a sign of Alzheimer's disease. Early detection gives you and your loved one time to plan for the future. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors through its Rally to Read program. Visit rallytoread.org to watch the read-alouds and discover exciting reading activities for school and home. Visit rallytoread.org today.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Marvin says, "Go, Franny, go." Y'all loving some Franny pants. Oh, she's got it. I just got to figure out how I can find a way to support a third-party candidate, because that means that I am forsaking and giving up on the Democratic Party. And I'm loyal to the party because it's done a lot, but it's not doing very well right now. You don't want to abandon your friend when it's not doing well. I don't want to cheat on the Democratic Party for the Democratic Socialists because I'm not a Democratic Socialist.
She's going to get the Democratic nominee, though.
Yeah, but she's going to get the Democratic nomination as not a Democrat because the Democratic Party is busted up. It's like if my marriage isn't going well, I go and just date somebody else, but my marriage is in tatters, because that's what it is. The Democratic Party we're in a broken marriage with them. It's not doing so good. I'm not ready to fully divorce. I'm also not ready to cheat yet. I want to see if we can work it out.
The Republicans weren't saying that about the Tea Partiers.
I don't care what the Republicans are doing. They're a different species because they got taken over as well, and it might be a useful example because Donald Trump and MAGA, Donald Trump wasn't a Republican. He took advantage of a Republican Party that did not know what it was going to do. After 2 terms of Barack Obama, the Republican Party was, in fact, broken. It didn't have a direction. It couldn't win a national election. It was losing seats in the House and in the Senate. It was losing governorships. It was losing state legislative races. And so you had a very crowded primary because no one knew the direction of the Republican Party because it was broken. And then Donald Trump comes in and provided that new direction. And I would argue that MAGA is almost like a third party that only surfaces when the status quo political party is in tatters. And the Republican Party was, in fact, in tatters. That's why you had everybody and their mother trying to run. That's how you know a political party is not in good shape. And people say, oh, no, when you have a lot of candidates running, it's good for democracy. Here's what I think is good for democracy. When there is a lining up of support behind the best candidate that all other Democrats believe can win. That, I think, is what democracy is. They have their conversations, they make their backroom deals, and say, hey, you know what? This is the person that we're going to get behind. We don't all need to throw our hats in the ring and confuse the damn voters, because all you're doing is you're fragmenting and segregating voters, because voters will form their own little cults and their own little camps around the candidate that they like. And it becomes a cult of personality. Well, I like so-and-so, and that's great. You can like whoever you want, but is the person that you like the strongest person to beat the opposition? A lot of times it's not. People do this symbolic vote based on emotion. Well, I like so-and-so, but they can't win. That don't matter. I want to give them my support anyway because I like them. That's a wasted vote. But the party is also participating in a lot of people wasting their vote. Tony Evers, I ain't got no beef with you, homeboy. I mean, I guess I should probably call him governor. I don't want to call him homeboy yet. But if you are the top Democrat in the state, and you are, before you endorse David Crowley, you should have cleared the field for him. But I don't know if Tony Evers had that kind of power, which is a little embarrassing because if you are the top polling Democrat,
The National Weather Service in Milwaukee-Sullivan has issued a tornado warning for northwestern Waukesha County in southeastern Wisconsin, northeastern Jefferson County in southeastern Wisconsin, southeastern Dodge County in southeastern Wisconsin, until 11:30 a.m. At 10:47 a.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Hustisford, or near Watertown, moving southeast at 35 miles an hour. Hazard, tornado and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Watertown around 10:50 a.m. Lac La Belle around 10:55 a.m. Oconomowoc around 11 a.m. Okauchee Lake around 11:05 a.m. Delafield and Dousman around 11:10 a.m. Other locations impacted by this tornadic thunderstorm include Ashapun, Waterville, Oxonia, Mapleton, Stone Bank, Summit, Lebanon, Pipersville, Oconomowoc Lake, and Clyman. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Mommy, can I sit in the front seat just this one time? Please, please, please.
No, not yet.
But why?
Because I love you, and you're just not ready yet. Now, get in the back so I can get you in your car seat, please.
Putting your kids in the right seat for their age and size is an act of love. Check that your kids are in the right seat at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Love protects. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
For 250 years, our armed forces have bravely served America. Wounded Warrior Project honors that legacy by supporting post-9/11 service members and veterans like Anthony, a Marine who was injured by a roadside bomb in Afghanistan.
They carried me through my injuries, not just my physical, but my mental. And seeing other vets doing the same thing helped me tell myself, hey, you can do this.
Join us in honoring warriors at woundedwarriorproject.org/America.
Milwaukee Black Talk lives here on 101.7 FM and 1510 AM, W269DL Milwaukee, and WGKB Waukesha.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with me, Sherwin Hughes. I don't even know what's happening with this program today. I'm still shook by a black hospitalized lady's racist rant against Mexicans. You'd think she'd have other things to worry about. But maybe they're right when they say black people are not a monolith. She also was saying, you know, you black people need to vote for the blackest candidate you can find, even though she is not a voter herself. That's fine. We always give fantastic advice to other people, advice that we wouldn't even take ourselves. So I got a poll here. But for some reason, it's not coming up. There's another poll coming out tomorrow. Why is this not working? Analysis. Go. Oh, here we go. Hold on, everybody. Relax. Francesca. Go ahead, Xavier. Oh. This is the politicsplus.com collection of polls. Francesca Hong, 31.2%. Second place, Mandela Barnes with 22.7%. David Crowley, 7.3%. David Crowley has basically doubled his polling since being in the race, dropping out of the race, getting back in the race, raising a whole bunch of money, and then getting the endorsement of Tony Evers. So in the grand scheme of things, in a short period of time, he has improved dramatically from where he was, but it's not enough. Sarah Rodriguez is even in this poll. She's still polling at 5.8%, and her campaign went down in flames. Kelda Royce is at 2.6%. Oh, Joel Brennan, 2.1%. It ain't no Brennan for the winning. Oh, and then there's somebody named Roper. I don't even know who that is. They're at 0.1%. Predictors. No, they don't have anything for the predictors yet. July 19th, Governor of Wisconsin, Democratic primary from the Wedgwood poll. They've got Francesca Hong up by 8.8%. July 3rd, Governor of Wisconsin, Democratic primary poll, Hong 2.8%. Going back to May, Mandela Barnes was up 12.8%. Going back to March, Francesca Hong was up 9%. What month is this? This is the Impact Research poll from July 19th. Francesca Hong up 13.8%. You're not catching that lady. Damn it, I'm not a socialist, though. I'm not. Not even a little bit. I don't even have any democratic socialism in my little toe. And there's a reason why, because there's no nuance in their platform that deals with the specific issues and the disparities by race. They don't include it. It's not included. In fact, they are much more inclusive of the disparities that impact queer folk than they are black folks, and that's the issue that I have. because the black community is not doing very well. Contrary to how positive you think all the news is that exists below the surface in our community, we're not really doing well because this is a very anti-black social and political climate. And if the leading political party that is now the substitute for the Democrats is not addressing some of those issues, like I was looking at some of the protests in Madison, they're losing their whole damn minds over this. There's a cohort of people that exist in this country, and we're very familiar with them in Wisconsin. Whenever there is disorder and whenever there's chaos or whenever there is a glaring issue that can potentially be seen as divisive, and let's take either, I don't know, everything from an AI data center to an officer-involved shooting. There's a group of people that want to take advantage of the chaos. Can we go back a little bit to Kenosha and Jacob Blake? When Jacob Blake was shot in the back by a Kenosha police officer, similar situation, Jacob Blake had some domestic violence stuff, had some trouble in his background, was denying or was not following the orders given to him by the police, was making his way back to his vehicle where he did, in fact, have a knife under the seat. Attempted to grab the knife. I believe he did grab the knife, and then the police shot him a whole bunch of times. They didn't kill him, but they injured him pretty bad. And then Kenosha went nuts. And then what did you have? You had other people going and taking advantage of the chaos. Do you honestly think that the white people that got shot and killed in Kenosha were crusaders for black rights? You think that those people were concerned about the disparities that exist when it comes to black people and poverty and income and education? No. Like, oh, a black dude got shot by the police. Let's take advantage of the chaos and the anarchy. And then what happened? Kyle Rittenhouse comes up here also taking advantage of the chaos and the anarchy. Doesn't kill any black people, but kills other white people. So the similar situation is going on in Madison. And I read the guy's rap sheet, Corey Ruiz's rap sheet. This guy has got like a dozen charges for resisting arrest. He had like 40 criminal either charges or convictions on his record. He was homeless, which shouldn't matter. Everybody needs to be housed. But for some reason, now all of a sudden his family is coming out of the woodwork, and now they want to sue the city of Madison, his same family that didn't allow him to live with them. So there are people in Madison right now that are taking advantage of the chaos. And I say this because some of the disparities that exist in Madison and Wisconsin between black and white are worse than the disparities that exist between black and white, even in Milwaukee. When it comes to racial profiling, when it comes to education, and several other metrics, the black community in Madison is doing terrible. But where were all of these people that are now in the streets and they're creating autonomous zones and stuff now? They're just taking advantage of the chaos. This is not about a black person's life that was lost. It isn't. It's about taking advantage of the chaos because everybody is discontent in this political climate. And if you can use something that happens to black people as a reason for you to act an absolute fool in the streets, they will do it. This is not about us. We also thought that the whole thing that happened in Kenosha and Jacob Blake and Kyle Rittenhouse shooting those white people, we tried to make that about us. It didn't have nothing to do with us, nothing to do with Jacob Blake. But we thought, well, that's why those white people were there. They were there protesting for us. Are you kidding me? You build credibility by working on behalf of the African-American community when nobody gets shot. On the days in which there is no chaos and on days in which there is no officer-involved shooting. Like, what are you doing in the meantime? If these people are just showing up when a black person gets shot, then they're not credible. But we're so damn stupid, we think that these people are actually our allies. No, they are not. Why do we get fooled by that? Well, those people that got shot by Kyle Rittenhouse, they were our friends. How so? How have they established credibility in the black community? Did they register black voters? Were they reading to black kids in school? Where were they giving their money? Were they giving their money to the NAACP and to the Urban League? What were they doing about the black income disparities and the black criminal justice disparities? Oh, they were doing nothing? Oh, okay, but then all of a sudden they show up when people are already in the streets causing chaos. Then they show up and you want to think that they're an ally? Because people show up to take advantage of chaos does not make them our allies. And why do we as black people associate allyship with chaos? Where are these people when nobody gets shot? Where are they? Every single day these disparities exist. Where are they on the black maternal mortality rate or the infant mortality rate or the lack of prenatal care that black women get giving birth to children that are malnourished and sickly. Like, where are they on all those issues? Oh, they don't have a position on those issues, but for some reason you think that they are credible to act and fight on our behalf? This is why we can't get nowhere. We trusting the wrong people. July 15th, Governor of Wisconsin. Hong versus Tiffany. This one is not good. This poll has got Tom Tiffany beating Francesca Hong by 1.9 points. Governor of Wisconsin, Democratic primary 2026 from the Marquette University Law School, published on July 15th. That has Francesca Hong up by 14 points. So Francesca can beat the other Democrats, which not that hard. But at the end of the day, with the support that she has right now, because I think that her ceiling might be fixed amongst Democratic primary voters, but how many general election voters, how many independents, and how many moderates, and how many quote-unquote establishment Democrats can she actually get to vote for her? And I say that because I know the people that are diehard Franny Pants, and those are the ones that are saying, well, if she becomes a Democratic nominee, all you other Democrats better get in line and better vote for her. When she becomes a nominee, everybody better follow suit, and you better make sure that you're all voting for her. And I find that ironic and also rich at the same time, because if Joe Brennan was the nominee, or if Mandela Barnes was the nominee, or David Crowley was the nominee, do you honestly think the Democratic Socialists that are telling everybody to line up behind Francesca Hong, do you think that they would abandon their Democratic Socialist principles and vote for somebody establishment? Absolutely not. And you know that they wouldn't. That's the arrogance of the Democratic Socialists. X, you know this. You and your people don't like establishment Democrats, and I don't think that they would vote for an establishment Democrat if Francesca Hong didn't get the nomination. Yet you all are telling everybody else that we better line up behind her, and y'all have made it clear that you wouldn't support any establishment Democrat, because the priority is not beating Tom Tiffany. It's elevating a third party to replace that of the Democratic Party, which maybe has become a little bit too corporate. And I get it. That's the game.
Don't compare me to them. I know what's at stake. So even if Francesca Hong loses, I'm still going to vote for the Democrats. So
you'd be winning with Brennan?
Oh yeah. I mean, I already know Tom Tiffany is. Oh, why would I allow Tom Tiffany to win when I know he's going to do what Scott Walker did, but 10 times worse? All right. So I don't know. You can't.
You got to talk to your other folks, because you know you got some diehards on your side. They hate the establishment so much, because the same thing happened with Bernie, right? So Bernie wins the Wisconsin Democratic primary, and I don't believe that his supporters were ever going to vote for Hillary Clinton. They just weren't, because she represented something to those Democratic Socialists of 10 years ago that was just as bad or worse than a Republican. They hated Hillary Clinton, and they had reasons why they didn't like her. She was extremely establishment. She was bought and paid for. She was very corporate. She was involved in a lot of corruption. Look, I totally get it, because she'd been in politics at that point for probably 40 years of her life. But it's just too hard to get a Democratic Socialist to abandon their principles and vote for somebody establishment just to beat the Republican. If anything, I think a lot of Bernie Sanders went and voted for Trump because Trump at the time was seen as some kind of weird political maverick and an outsider. And I don't know if anybody could have predicted how bad Trump was ultimately going to be. Like, we had an idea because of the people he was surrounding himself with, Steve Bannon and others, Corey Lewandowski. We're like, oh, Trump very well may be bad. But there's some folks at that time that if they weren't going to have Bernie to vote for, then they were going to vote as outside of the mainstream as humanly possible. And that was Donald Trump, especially versus Hillary Clinton, who probably still is, the poster child for the Democratic establishment. That some would say that Democratic establishment that Hillary Clinton was affiliated with was just as much in bed with the Republicans as anything else. All right, we'll take a break. Come back. I don't even know. What do we even do at this point? Trying to turn me into a damn communist? I don't have enough hair to turn pink or purple, so I'm not a very good Democratic soldier.
Well, have you ever heard the saying,
no,
the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
That's a lie. I don't like that saying.
I like that saying.
That's not.
And I wouldn't even call them the enemy either. You just have political differences.
The enemy of my enemy just means that we have an enemy in common. I still can, if just because we got the same enemy, I may not like the way you dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we all have a common enemy, and it's Tom Tiffany. And then the whole Bernie Sanders to Trump voters and stuff like that.
That was a very real
There's
thing.
a whole cohort of Barack Obama supporters that went to Bernie and then that went to Trump. So this is
You'd
people,
have to prove that.
Oh,
to me.
I can
Bernie
show
bros
you.
are Trumpers.
You want me to show you there's plenty of statistics of showing people that voted for Barack Obama that went to Bernie and then went to Trump in 2016. Probably not 2020.
That might make sense. No, I'll give you that. But going from Barack Obama to Donald Trump, that's the cardinal sin, because Trump ended up being the complete and total antithesis to Barack Obama. Now, I'm wondering how many of those people that did vote for Obama, went to Bernie, then voted for Trump, stayed with Trump in 2020 and 2024. That's the problem, because all Trump is doing is trying to undo Barack Obama's legacy.
Yeah, we probably can pull that up.
Sinners.
Want me to look?
Look
for something?
Don't look up nothing.
Because that's definitely a thing. The
Sit back
Barack
there and just look pretty. That's what you do.
Yeah, I know. But a lot of white Barack Obama voters voted for Trump. That's a fact.
I take a break now.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Well,
I know you play hotkeys now. Where'd you find those?
Well, you guys were complaining. You're like,
yeah, we're complaining.
You don't play the hotkeys, and I just want my own hotkeys. I don't want to play the same ones that Zach plays. That's the only reason why I don't play them that much.
Those hotkeys are tried and true. They are crowd favorites. They have withstood the test of time. And all of those are not Zach. Some of those are me. Some of those were put in by Rhea, some by Carrie, some by Benjamin, who you all know is amazing. So no, those are.
Well, I'm playing them now. Hotkeys. I'm playing them now.
Play one right now. Let me hear one. Play a good one.
A good one?
Yeah, just play one.
Okay, here goes one right here.
If God don't do it, it won't get done.
That's a good. I like that. That's a classic.
Boing, boing, boing.
Oh, that's Silver Fox Summer right there.
And my personal favorite.
I love the poorly educated.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Black Arts Fest MKE is back and bigger than ever. Come out Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds for a full day celebrating Black culture, African heritage, music, art, fashion, food, and family fun. Enjoy live performances from Big E, Hollywood the Classic, Cold Drink, MJ, Star Red, the Lattimore Brothers, and don't miss the headliner, Dave Hollister. Celebrate the foundations of hip-hop with the legendary Boogaloo Shrimp, a.k.a. Turbo from Break It, the Divine Nine Party, a Michael Jackson tribute by Brew City Soul, a gospel music celebration, and the Black Hollywood Experience featuring Jamal Gravy Woolard and Benzino. Compete in the culture contest with a $500 cash prize awarded in the categories of African heritage hairstyles, fashion design, and fine art. Bring the whole family for horse rides, the Kids Zone, a Corvette car and bike show, and more. Tickets are on sale now, plus there are discounts for seniors and youth. Credentialed veterans and kids 7 and under are free. Black Arts Fest MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds. Get your tickets now at blackartsfestmke.com. And for more info, follow Black Arts Fest MKE on Facebook.
In the United States, a vehicle is stolen every 31 seconds, about as long as this message. Luckily, you can take a few easy steps to protect your car in the same amount of time. Remove your valuables, roll up your windows, don't leave your car running unattended, lock your doors, and take your keys or fob. If you have information about a crime, call the police. If you suspect insurance fraud, also call 800-TEL-NICB. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
I always had to be so good, no one could ignore me. Carve my path with data and drive. But some people only see who I am on paper. The paper ceiling. The limitations from degree screens to stereotypes that are holding back over 70 million stars. Workers skilled through alternative routes rather than a bachelor's degree. It's time for skills to speak for themselves. Find resources for breaking through barriers at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, it's your chance to win. We're giving away a pair of tickets to Black Arts Fest MKE happening Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee. Do not forget, don't miss an unforgettable day of music and culture and art and food and community featuring artists, the Lattimore Brothers and Dave Hollister live on stage. Listen every day for your cue to call and score your pair of tickets. Black Arts Fest MKE, Saturday, August 1st at the Summerfest grounds, brought to you by the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk. I'm not done yet. There's more. What is happening to my life? I don't know what's happening. I am done.
Yeah, you are done.
I'm finished. Not necessarily. See, at UW Milwaukee, Xavier, students don't have to wait until college to start building their future. Roar Ready lets students in K through 12th grade join in on hands-on programs across campus, from science to tech to arts, sports, and more. Students try new things, they meet new people, and they build the skills that matter. Get started today at uwm.edu/roarready. That's uwm.edu/roarready. Now I'm done. I like this little groove right here. It's a nice little groove.
Very relaxed.
I've been playing mellow music today because the subject matter has been a little tough. Trying to explain how this fatigue that they have is going to have consequences in every fight, every shooting, fatal and non-fatal, that's in the city of Milwaukee, makes Milwaukee leadership look faulty. It does. Now, we have a different relationship with Milwaukee leadership because we know it personally, and we also know that those people that are elected can only do so much. A lot of times they are under the thumb of whatever resources we're getting from the federal government or from state government, and we know that Republicans who control the legislature have been very unfair to Milwaukee, especially when it comes to things like shared revenue. We also are dealing with a bad economy, and we had to raise the sales tax 2.2%. I'm really starting to feel that. That is adding to the overall climate of everything being more expensive. And so when we see, negative things that are taking place, we can explain them. A lot of it is policy related because some of the resources that we used to get to provide help and opportunity and to hope to people, is a lot of that stuff is gone. And so it manifests itself and some of the chaos that we see in some of our social events being disrupted and violence in the streets, et cetera. But there are other people that are not that knowledgeable about the interplay of the lack of resources and how it manifests itself into crime. What people will say is like, oh, these candidates are from Milwaukee. Joel Brandon is from Milwaukee. David Crowley's from Milwaukee. Mandela Barnes is from Milwaukee. And Milwaukee is a sugar honey iced tea show. I don't want to vote for someone who is from that place to lead the state of Wisconsin. And that's a matter of fact. Ladies and gentlemen, voters do not delve into the causality of why Milwaukee is dealing with the kind of crime that it's dealing with. They don't. They just say, oh, faulty leadership there. We don't want somebody who is a part of the faulty leadership there to lead the state. And it's very, very simple. I also believe that is why these candidates are continuing to stay in the race, because it almost seems like with every Democratic primary, it's Milwaukee versus the rest of the state. We have never had, I got to be careful with this, I got to know my history now. I don't think that we have ever had a governor of the state of Wisconsin from the city of Milwaukee. You could say Scott Walker, but Scott Walker is not, he's from Delavan. He was county executive, but he also ran for governor on an anti-Milwaukee platform, and it worked for him. While he was county executive, he was touring the state saying, you don't want the rest of the state to turn into Milwaukee. Dude, you're the county executive. And it worked for him. So if you run an anti-Milwaukee campaign, statewide it could work. Being from here is a bit of a strike against you, even though Milwaukee is the economic engine. Everybody loves Milwaukee. Milwaukee is the side piece that everybody wants to sleep with but doesn't want to commit to. Like, they'll come to Milwaukee for the fun. They treat Milwaukee like a hoe. We're not your whore. They come here for our fun. They come here for our sports, our Brewers, our Bucks. Hockey? Do people come here and watch hockey? Maybe. They come here for our Marquette and our UWM Panthers. They come here for our festivals and the German festivals and the Italian festivals. The Polish even have a festival. The Asians have a festival. The Irish have a festival. They come here for that, but at the same time, oh, Milwaukee is terrible. There's so much crime. Yeah, but you come here and get drunk. You come to our restaurants. You come here to our fabulous rooftop patios. You come here to take advantage of our Silver Fox summers. I seen y'all at Bastille days. I seen you. They come to Milwaukee and they very much enjoy it. They'll come to our conventions, won't they? The Republicans had a convention here. I seen them. They came here. They come and they stay in our hotels. They love staying at the Pfister, the hotel, the motel, the Holiday Inn. But for some reason, this city that they love so much because we offer so much more. There's not another city in Wisconsin that offers the amenities that we have. Plus, we got the lakefront. That is a whole nother just paradigm of entertainment and economic activity. Water sports. You can rent a jet ski. You can parasail. You can get on a boat. You probably have a dozen or so different bars and restaurants that have boat slips. You can go up and down the Milwaukee River and you can go get food here. You can go get drinks there. You can go to Sail Loft. You can go to Barnacle Buds. You can go to the Bridgewater. There's so many places. You can park your boat. It's a lot of fun here. But when it comes to electing somebody from Milwaukee, well, state of Wisconsin voters will never do that, but they sure will come and they'll visit. Milwaukee is better than Wisconsin Dells. Because Wisconsin Dells, like the town, is kind of gross. A lot of meth. A lot of just yuck. A lot of poor whites. Why are you whites so poor? You guys have a water park right there in your backyard. Just go work at the water park. So I haven't been to the Dells in years, but what I remember of the Dells is that the people that work at the water parks aren't even American. They're like Polish. They come from Europe. So they're taking jobs from people that live in the Dells, which is terribly unfortunate. But I guess I see why people complain about immigrants taking their jobs.
There's a lot of immigrants in the Wisconsin Dells.
Yes, there is. And they come for the summer. They might be trafficked for cheap labor. I don't know. That's not my problem.
I'm talking about just living there in general.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't been to the Dell. I went to a Halloween party up there many years ago. Oh, speaking of which, I'm having a Halloween party this year. It's going to be exclusive and invite only. We're doing a costume contest as well because, this year Halloween falls on a weekend.
Oh.
It's Saturday, October 31st. Zach, how much do you charge for a DJ? I need a DJ that night. We're going to need a DJ from probably 7 p.m. until at least midnight. Let's say 7 to 1. How much you charge to DJ from 7 to 1? Are you thinking about
He's
it?
calculating in his head.
Okay. I don't want to say a number because if I say a number that's too high, he's going to say, yes, that much.
Exactly.
Because I don't know how much DJs charge. So from 7, not that early.
Is it going to be a freaky party?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's going to be, I'm doing costume contests. I'm going to do best costume overall, and then I'm also going to do sexiest costume.
Ooh, I could bring a friend or two.
Hold on, man. Relax. I don't know. Hold on, man. So I'm going to need a DJ. Let's say 9 to 1. So that's 4 hours. Because before 9, we can just play. We'll just have like a Bluetooth speaker outside. And it's outside and inside, so I hope we have decent weather. Why am I saying this on the radio? Because everybody can't come to my Halloween party now. It's got to be exclusive, invite only, and it ain't going to be free. But we're going to have food and drink. Obviously, Zach is going to DJ. Well, hold on. Zach, give me your number so I can start putting together my budget now. 9 to 1.
We gonna work it out. No, I just need a little assistant with me up there to help set up my DJ equipment.
Okay. So give me a ballpark, just so I know what range I'm dealing with.
It'll be less than $800.
I should hope so, sir. It'll be less than $800 for 4 hours?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. That's what DJs cost? $200 an hour?
I said less than that.
How much is $1 less or hundreds less?
It would be several hundreds less. I will what the kids call plug you.
No, you don't have to do that. I want you to get your rate. I'm not one of those where if I have a friend that's in business, I want them to charge me what their rate is. I just went to the Packing House restaurant where the owner of that restaurant is one of my dear, dear friends for over a decade. And when I go get a fish fry, you think dude gives me a discount? In fact, when I got my bill, I was hurt a little bit. I was like, oh, inflation. But I paid it, right? You pay somebody, pay their rate. Because if you want Sherwin, see, here's the thing with me. Oh, I see y'all and with the little requests in my inbox. Oh, Sherwin, we're having an event. Can you come and can you host the event? Oh, Sherwin, can you be a speaker at our event? Not for free. Come on. Why y'all treating your boy like that? Come on, Sherwin, please. Please don't. I can't say we energies, please. Hell no. Play my hotkey, hell no. That needs to get more rotation. Over here think I'm free. I'm very expensive, but it's worth it, though, because you get humor, you get good looks, you get experience, you get all that. Where's my hotkey at? Hell no. There it. Thank you. Sherwin, please. Okay, well, what time do you need me there? We would need you there at noon. Okay, how long does the event go? The event goes till 4 o'clock. Okay, well, what are you offering? Hors d'oeuvres? Hors d'oeuvres?
Hell no.
Exactly. Madison, Wisconsin is often ranked as the nation's best place to live, but it also has some of the largest black-white racial disparities in the United States across multiple quality of life indicators. National research, the city of Madison, Dane County, UW-Madison, and Wisconsin state agencies have repeatedly documented these gaps. And so all the people that are protesting and they're angry because Corey Ruiz was killed by the police, where are they on all of these other disparities that exist in Madison? Because I want us to be very mindful of who our allies actually are. And if we know that Madison has got some racial disparities that are even worse than Milwaukee, all of these people that are coming out of the woodwork that are trying to build an autonomous zone, they actually locked arms. I've never seen nothing like this before. So there's a protest going on over the weekend in Madison where the folks are so upset of the killing of Corey Ruiz that they locked arms and they blocked people from going to bars and restaurants and businesses. You can't do that. That's what responsibility, if you're a bar, and bars are not doing very well. I don't know if y'all know that, but bars and restaurants are closing left and right all over the place because of the economy, because of inflation, because of some of the things that they have to buy. Their supplies are being tariffed heavily. To lock arms and not allow people to go get a sandwich or go get a beer or support their local business is it's stupid. So fair enough. I understand people have passions and I appreciate their conviction, but where are they on the other disparities that exist in Madison? The home ownership rates, the poverty rates, the reading and math proficiency. There's a 60-point gap between black students and white students in the Madison school districts when it comes to reading and math scores. Where are they on all of that? Because if you just come out of the woodwork and protest and raise hell when a black person gets shot by the police, you were just taking advantage of the chaos. You were not actually concerned about the conditions that black and brown people live in, and this is what I want us to be mindful of. I'm going to let you hold that thought, and I'm going to take a break. Let you think about it. Let it incubate for a little bit. And also let Zach think about his price for the Halloween party that I'm having because I need a DJ. we're going to do best Halloween costume, and we're going to do sexiest Halloween costume. $500 first place. Ooh, $500. That's some nice little money. That'll move the needle right there. And I might even be in the sexiest Halloween costume contest. Hey! The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
'Cause remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can, and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We gotta make moves and make them early. Set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up and stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things.
Start building your retirement plan at thisispretirement.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
For 75 years, the Muscular Dystrophy Association's voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
For 75 years, we've willed the impossible into existence.
For 75 years, the MDA community has pushed the science,
shifted the narrative, and established the field of neuromuscular medicine.
And until that day, when this is all a thing of the past,
you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Mal, you can't be serious. There's nothing wrong with being poor. Our ancestors did not have billions but relied on each other. Being poor is the worst possible thing you can possibly be anywhere on the planet. You're going to die sooner. You're not going to eat well. Your kids are not going to know how to read. You're going to be under the thumb of the criminal justice system. Need I go on? You're going to have a reduced quality of life. You're not going to smile as much. Who wants to be poor? But Mal, you also said that soccer is a great sport. I sometimes got to remember he ain't an American. He's not. So he's got some third world country sensibilities. Soccer's a great sport. There's nothing wrong with being poor. Who wants to be poor? Does anybody ever ask to be poor for Christmas? Ho, ho, ho. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want for Christmas? Poverty? No way. Poverty doesn't have a car. Poverty can't afford to go to the beach. Poverty is mean. What are some other bad things about being poor? You're not invited to my Halloween party. No, that's not true. We're going to have a section for poor people. They'll be doing the cleaning. Lady B thinks she's going to get an invitation to the Halloween party. It's very exclusive. I just need something to look forward to. Why did I just get... So Carrie just sent me a message. And it's a screenshot from Jessica McBride, ultra-conservative journalist. She said, "That's it. I've seen enough. I'm crossing over and voting for Francesca Hong in the August 11th primary. Not the general, obviously. Conservatives, be bold. Who's with me? Sorry, John Schneidmeyer and Nick Olinger. I like you both, my men. But you're going to have to take a back seat to saving our state and country. If you want to help Tom Tiffany, vote Hong. It's his best chance to win the general by far. Trust me on this." So this is from Jessica McBride. She posted this apparently on Facebook. She is encouraging other Republicans and conservatives to vote for Francesca Hong. If you want Governor Tiffany, you should help Hong get through the primary. It's establishment Democrats' worst nightmare, and they know it. Why else do you think they have Evers running around and interrupting his Africa trip to endorse Crowley? They're terrified. Why else is the Republican Governors Association spending millions on ads to get Hong through the primary? And she ends her rant on Facebook by saying, "Vote Hong, Hong in all capital letters, hashtag breaking news, hashtag breaking, hashtag DSA, hashtag socialism." Jessica McBride is not the only one. Because the Republicans don't have a primary candidate facing their ultimate nominee, which is going to be Tom Tiffany, who you all know is one of the most conservative members of the House of Representatives and is already endorsed by Donald Trump. And if polling is correct, as of right now, but everything can change. Things can change. We've seen a lot of changes in this race. Voting starts tomorrow, by the way. The election is here. I got to figure out if I'm going to vote early or if I'm going to get all up in it and vote on election day. Sometimes I like to be in it. I like to vote on election day. I like to go. I like to see if it's going to be a line. Because at my polling location, I'm Ward 159. If there is a line in my polling location, because voter turnout, and in fact, I think Homer and I live in the same ward. Homer lives right around the corner from me. If there's a lot of commotion and motion in the ocean in my polling location, then the voter turnout is going to be high. There have been some elections where I thought that the enthusiasm was a lot higher than it was, and I was the only person. It's just me in a gym. It's a school. It's an elementary school gym. And you walk in, and it's 5 or 6 different wards that vote out of this particular location. That is the Sherman School on 50th and the Burleigh. That's where I go and vote. And if I walk in there and I hear an echo, if I hear my own footsteps and there's nobody in there, that doesn't bode well for the Democratic candidate. So I like to get a feel, because you never know how many people actually vote early. I know the city of Milwaukee used to post how many early votes were cast, but I think they only do it on a weekly summary. But if I go and vote on election day, that's my big dilemma. But you should vote early just to get it out of the way, to say you got it done. But I don't trust the system now, and Donald Trump they're going to be involved some kind of way. I just don't trust it. I don't like going and voting early, and then I cast my ballot, and my ballot sits somewhere, and then it doesn't get delivered to my actual polling location until 8 p.m. after the polls close on election night. I don't like my ballot just sitting out there in the universe, out there in the ether. I don't like that. I like to be out there on election day. I like to be in it. I want to be in the thick of it.
I feel you there.
You know what I mean? I like being in it.
Yeah.
You got to be inside of it.
Nice and wet. And
Hey,
sliding.
I'm talking about voting.
Oh, okay.
Why you worse than Al?
No,
You's a freak.
No, I'm not. I thought you were talking about you like being in it.
I like to be up in the chaos and the madness of the voting. I like to see all the people because it encourages me, because it means that people are actually taking it seriously.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Like to be up in the thick of it. I'm an election day voter. I like it. I voted early before, but also you got to keep this in mind. Something might happen on election day. Like I might be sick. I'm knock on wood. I don't want to be sick now.
Nothing will stop me from voting.
In April of 2016, this was the only election that I missed since 1994. I actually was sick, but my parents were like, Sherwin, we voted on your behalf, because I told my parents who to vote for, because I don't need to take any chances.
I just feel guilty if I don't vote.
Well, I actually couldn't. I didn't vote early, and I was very much incapacitated. I could not, absolutely could not under any circumstance vote. But if I don't vote, then at least I'll have some people that will vote on my behalf. And there are people that will ask me, hey, Sherwin, who should I vote for? Now, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you. Even if you don't ask me, I'm going to tell you anyway, because I don't need y'all screwing up our democracy worse than it already is. And I wish more of you would have listened to me. We wouldn't be in this current situation. I'll be honest with you. Had Hillary gotten elected, a lot of stuff would be different.
She didn't even campaign in Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin voters have never liked Hillary Clinton. She's never won Wisconsin. She didn't win Wisconsin when she was running in 2008.
Not coming here and showing face definitely didn't help.
She listened to the polls too much. But in 2008, she thought she had Wisconsin sewed up and Barack Obama won.
Remember her little racist thing with Barack? Posting the picture of him in the traditional garb, calling him a Muslim?
She didn't post that.
Well, yes, she did.
I know Bill Clinton said that Barack Obama was only qualified to get his coffee, which at the time, I mean, that wasn't a nice thing to say. But also
kind of racist.
Yeah, no, we got to stop saying it. In a competition, black people are too sensitive. Y'all are just a bunch of crybabies. Whenever somebody says something that might be taken as offensive to a black person, it's not always race. Sometimes people just say nasty stuff. We say nasty stuff about all sorts of people. Lisa went on a whole racist rant today about Mexicans.
Oh, so you guys aren't going to complain about the Fran supporters online?
If you're a black person, Mexicans are not your problem. The only problem that I have with Mexicans, and I'm going to be honest with you, if I have a problem with them, it's just how do they make those enchiladas so goddamn delicious? I wouldn't even try to make an enchilada. I know where I'm beat. You know what I'm saying? If you can't beat them, join them. I'll go to Solito Lindo. I'll go to a Mexican restaurant because I'm not even going to. Even how they make their rice, it's delicious. And I love a refried bean, too. I love you get a little cheese on a refried bean.
I don't know. It all is kind of the same to me.
No, it is not. Oh, no. I love Mexican food.
Burritos, tacos, all the same.
There's more than that. It's camarones, chicharrones.
Tortas? You like a torta?
No, I know. I can't do a torta. The sandwich, yes. The other kind, I can't do it.
Ugh.
I can't.
More pushing for the gushing.
You're racist, too.
How am I racist?
Because I know what you're talking about.
Nuh-uh.
Tell them what a torta is.
It's a delicious Spanish sandwich that you eat that's very big. Lots of meats and spices in there that you eat on, and it tastes very good.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're invited to summer's biggest celebration. Join Wisconsin State Fair in celebrating 175 years of memories together. Get your tickets today at wistatefair.com. Wisconsin State Fair, presented by T-Mobile, August 6th through 16th.
I'm Sherwin Hughes, and I know the power of Stars and Stripes Honor Flight firsthand. As someone who's been on an honor flight, I can tell you it's a day you'll never forget. Stars and Stripes Honor Flight gives our oldest veterans who served in any location in June of 1975 or earlier a free one-day trip to Washington, D.C. for veterans. Airfare, meals, a coach bus tour, and special flight apparel are all included. It's a day of honor, gratitude, and camaraderie. Veterans who served in the Vietnam or Korean War go to flySSHF.org and ask for an application.
You can't buy a best friend. You can love them, walk them, pet them, and care for them, whether they want you to or not. You can take a picture or 50. You can fly to the moon, travel the world, or just stay in bed. You can't buy a best friend like that, but you can adopt one. There are millions of pets waiting for a best friend just like you. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Talking about guns with others might not always feel comfortable, but it could save a life. Here's a way to start a conversation. Your family is going over to your neighbor's home for dinner for the first time. How would you ask if there are any unlocked guns in the home?
Hey, we're so excited for tonight. Before we come over, though, may I ask if there are any unlocked guns in your home?
Our guns are stored securely, locked in a safe that the kids can't access.
Awesome.
Learn how to have the conversation at agreetoagree.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Wherever there's a need in our communities, there's a United Way, improving lives so everyone can thrive. Where more people can gain access to health care and nutritious food for their tables. Where more community members can benefit from financial education and get connected to local resources for housing support. And where children are given more chances to reach their full potential. Community is where we find our strength and where we share our hope. United is the way. Visit unitedway.org.
Are people around me safe when I vape? Science does not support that belief. Exhaled vape emissions linger in the air, affecting indoor air quality and bystanders in the same space through secondhand exposure. Vaping emissions can also accumulate on clothes, hair, dust, and furniture, leading to exposure risks to bystanders of all ages. And vaping around a pregnant person can lead to serious health impacts on fetal and childhood development. Enough with the puff. Learn more at ul.org/vaping.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The Democratic National Committee has entered the final 100 days before the midterm elections Sunday at its Washington headquarters, with debts exceeding cash by more than $2 million and no plan for its customary transfers to congressional campaign committees, after an early spending strategy raised questions about support for House candidates in divisive swing districts. Federal Election Commission filings show the Democratic National Committee ended the month of June with $16.3 million in cash and $18.5 million in debt, leaving liabilities approximately $2.2 million above its reserves. The Republican National Committee, by comparison, reported approximately $128,500,000 cash on hand with no debt. The New York Times reported that the DNC had asked vendors to delay spending bills until after the elections and informed congressional leaders it would not make its traditional transfers to House and Senate campaign committees. The New York Times also noted that the DNC and an affiliated committee spent approximately $840,000 on Democratic organizations in 5 non-voting U.S. territories and states last year. A veteran DNC member, Donna Brazil, told the New York Times that DNC Chairman Ken Martin needed major assistance. The cash disparity extends to the committees directing resources into House races. The National Republican Congressional Committee ended June with $92.7 million, compared with $79 million for Democratic congressional campaign committees. A recent Supreme Court decision allowed unlimited spending between parties and candidates, made the committee reserves more consequential in competitive districts. Control of the House could turn on fewer than 20 races, according to the Associated Press. Despite the cash gap, Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee's the DCCC chair, Susan Delbene, pointed to the committee's second quarter fundraising and the performance of Democratic candidates. They had to mortgage their building to get a loan to pay some of their debts. All right, let's check the YouTube comments. Lady B says she's going to get her man at the Halloween party. Lady B, you need to stop throwing it at me before I decide I want to catch it. Don't play with me. I'm a grown man. I'm not the one, woman. What does she look like, I wonder? Ma, you're not coming to the party. You're a soccer fan. You come dressed as a soccer ball to my Halloween party, you're going to get kicked. Goal! Talking about soccer is the greatest sport. Vanessa, you better tell her. You better tell Lady B I'm not the one. Don't do it. I changed your life, woman. Woman over here flirting with me. I thought they would have learned by now. I'm not the one. Don't play with me. Go play with somebody else. I'm serious about mine.
Yeah.
Over here talking about she gonna get her man. Come on then. Ain't no short walk. Come on over, Vanessa. I'm not Vanessa. Hold on. Relax. Lady B. Lady V was talking to Vanessa saying that she's gonna get her man, talking about she gonna get me. First of all, I ain't no easy catch now. Gotta be working with something. See, I can't, no, that's not a good idea, because if you be all up in the chat, I can't date somebody to be all up in the chat. Because they might share the details of our life with the chat. You can't have that now.
Or invite them to the freaky party.
That could be a problem, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what this woman looks like. Lady B. Now, I've met, I shouldn't tell y'all that. I've met listeners before.
Did you ever meet the lady? The one lady? No. She probably hates you now. Call back in. I forgot your name, but we love you. We love you, Renee.
I couldn't do that. She had a great sounding voice, though.
Yeah, she's probably very sexy.
She's like, "Oh, Sherwin, please, sir. Sherwin, give me a chance. I'm lost without you. Oh, God, I can't.
Boing, boing, boing.
Oh, please, sir."
Swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
Thank you guys for listening. The lunch break with Ray Nitty and maybe Shannon is up next. Have a great day.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure.